reference to any products or promotions posits to viewers that perhaps beef is merely a symbolic expression of lust in its most wanton and depraved form.
When we call for beef, what are we really asking for? Is it the caress of a gentle lover? Or the blade of an executioner? The rage of steel on bone? Would you yourself deny beef? Would beef deny itself of you?
In other news, a spaced-out flower child is grooving on a doobie wave. A new study reveals nothing Pfizer's lawyers can't take care of, and the parents of an adorable child on a TV show are most likely insane. Thus ends nature's majestic cycle of weekly news reviews, only to gracefully begin itself anew in exactly 1 week's time.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah, undefeated here on Declare Your Independence. And me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the BEAU beautiful studios of Freedom's in the Nest, FreedomsPhoenix.com. All right, not one of the best ones. Angela Keaton from antiwar.com. I'm got antiwar.com news on top of the page we had on freedomsphoenix.com. We had this story. I think it's very interesting. We got limited time with Angela, so we want to get hear from the horse's mouth. Not that she's a horse, but we want to know what. Yeah, I know where that phrase came from. Anyway, we'll tell about it later. The Angela Keaton, please tell us antiwar.com news, every little thing.
All right, this is a story that's been ongoing for years, going back to when somebody tipped Eric Garris off, our webmaster, to a file that someone had put on Scribe, one of those sites where you can just drop in the documents, and it was the result of somebody's Freedom of Information Act request on some issues ancillary to 9/11, and in it was about 20 pages of material that the FBI had kept on antiwar.com, Eric Garris, and very specifically the late Justin Raimondo. That indicated basically that the FBI had been basically surveilling antiwar.com.
Well, of course they were. I remember when was this Bush administration? This Bush administration, or was it Obama?
Well, the initial problems. Goes back to 2002 is probably when it was open. We didn't learn about it until 2011.
Well, I remember when this first came out, they had dubbed the antiwar.com as a terrorist organization or sympathetic or something. They didn't like it, okay? And antiwar.com is not with the program of America, and it gave them some kind of justification for surveilling or tracking or knowing about your donors, didn't it?
Well, what they were interested in is that if antiwar.com were the agent of a foreign government.
Antiwar.com was an agent of a foreign government.
They were wondering, yes, that was what their inquiry was.
And their result was?
No.
Well, they said, and no, they're not, or we were just inquiring for like ever.
They were going to inquire forever. I mean, to go back, one of the things that the research into it, this is after the ACLU had taken the case to sue the Department of Justice, the FBI. what we learned is, though, that, Eric Garris, our founder, had been under some kind of FBI investigation since he was a teenager in 1971 because of anti-Vietnam protesting, including, I think maybe doing some activism on a Air Force base and getting in trouble for it, as one does.
Yeah, once you're one of them, whatever that is, they go, you're one of that. You're a resistor. You're a dissenter. You're an American. All right. So this finally went to trial, and with whom to say what?
Had to go, this case has taken since I think it was filed in 2013. Went all the way up to the Ninth District Circuit Court thing, and the results were it's a somewhat narrow ruling, but it's pretty interesting, where they have to expunge the file and get rid of the file because there's no longer an active investigation and there's no reason for them to hold on to it.
Okay, now wait. I thought this is a Ninth Circuit thing. I thought it went all the way to Supreme Court or something.
No, that would be the next step.
Okay. So are they going to challenge it to the Supreme Court?
We do not know. The government, the FBI can still challenge it, but as far as we're concerned, screw you. That basically, if an agency is keeping an active investigation, if it wants to maintain a file it no longer has an active investigation on, if it reaches a certain standard, they should expunge it. That's basically what the court ruled.
Well, I saw that the court was saying all memos, documents, anything and everything ever the record has been written, it shall be erased or something.
Well, they're supposed to do that one for antiwar.com and specifically Eric Garris and the late Justin Raimondo.
Wow. All right. So I remember when this was happening, it had a quenching effect on donations to antiwar.com when they're under FBI investigation and everybody ever said hello. So it was like, whoa. And then it got to the point where people like, yeah, put me on the list, you sons of frickin' sucking robots. So this is, in addition to that, when Google, which is the government and State Department, when they come up and they go, no more AdSense words, ad money, you're not going to, screw them. So that's when we had our, just straight advertising straight to the page. How's that working out? I mean, do you guys, you don't have Google Ads anymore, or you do, or how are you doing your revenue?
Other things now. We've got other things now. That was because you're not allowed to tell the truth about torture. So several sites that had covered that were, we're no longer able to get Google AdSense. And I think some rules have changed, some things haven't. Some people removed pages, other people didn't. So, yeah, that was one of the many tiny, many of these things that have happened along the way that
you've been targeted.
Has gotten in trouble for.
Well, the Google thing.
Like, when the Washington Post put out that proper not list about these 200 sites are agents of the Russian government, essentially. We were on that blacklist too. So, yeah, we're on a lot of lists.
Yeah, no, I found myself on enough lists. I felt good about it, and I'm good. I don't need to look anymore. But this is what happened. When Google said, no, you got to take down all these Abu Ghraib pictures that were on Google servers freaking everywhere anyway. So they go, no, but antiwar.com, you had them here you've been denying us for 13 years.
Right, we were doing just fine with Google AdSense, and we had them up for 11 years, I think, at that point, and it had not been an issue before. Then one day it became an issue for us and the American Conservative and several other groups that had covered that, that do ongoing coverage of foreign policy. So, yes, it is. Remember, the U.S. has a long history. U.S. government has a long history of spying and raiding anti-war groups This is an old problem.
Oh, yeah. No, this is, especially when your name is antiwar.com and you got a bunch of libertarians out there being, freedom and stuff. They just, hell no. Well, how is it going with antiwar.com now? I remember, keep telling the story. Antiwar.com was the first time I ever gave my credit card on the internet. They do like $5 donate a month. I'm poor. So this is back in the day. It started with Kosovo, or it was during the Clinton administration. So it has gone, we need us an antiwar.com out there. So this has been a targeted thing for the same reasons as they do. The war is over if you want it. John Lennon, Yoko Ono kind of campaign from back in the day. Anything anti-war. Angela Keaton, antiwar.com. Go give us some money. Money. Give the middle finger to the man. You'll probably be on the list, but if you're going to be on the list, be on top of the list. It's safer there.
Are you feeling...
There you go. Hey, you want to do more, or are you good?
Oh, I'm good. All right.
All right. We'll talk later.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye.
This is Donna Hancock with Silver Alliance Realty in Phoenix, Arizona, and I can take some of the guesswork out of the home buying or selling process, providing you with market trends in your area and detailing what to expect before, during, and after the process. A home is a place where the most important moments in your life happen, so making sure that you know exactly what to expect along the way helps to ensure that you have control. The future is here, so let me help you move forward with your real estate needs. Being in the real estate business for almost 20 years now has afforded me knowledge of the market, networking with industry specialists along the way. Now more than ever, you need an agent that can help you make sense of what many think is a complicated and mysterious process. Feel free to call or message me at 602-828-1819. That's 602-828-1819, or visit my webpage today at donnahancock.com.
Fact. The new NSA data center in Utah requires 1.7 million gallons of water every single day to operate. Billions of Fourth Amendment violations need massive computers and the water to cool them. That water is being supplied by the state of Utah. Fact. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution which requires your state to help the feds violate your rights. Our message to Utah: turn it off. No water equals no NSA data center. Visit offnow.org.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Key, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at shiresociety.com. That's shiresociety.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
Da-da-dum. Welcome to Declare Your Independence. All right, we get to go over news today. And then I have, where's my today's card? All right, who's on today? I'm sorry, what?
Star Child.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so Angela Keaton can only come on for a little bit. She's doing a lot of shows and everything. She wanted. I saw this, and we got it up. Court, FBI must destroy memos calling antiwar.com a threat. Yeah, that makes up for a decade of them screwing with you. But this has been the standard operating procedure of, and you're going to have all the people that are on the lists that they created to make you're bad. And the reason they did that, of course, was to, make them go away. They always go after your money. Are you on the list? You need to be audited. I mean, it's just, it's fear and intimidation. And at some point, people just don't care. Yeah, put me on the list. And then, or there's a list. All right. I'll try and stay off the list. Why jack up the people that are doing the list? It's spontaneous order. Just justice. You have to change human beings. You have to change them. You have to make them different. At the fundamental level, you got to get them to be something else. And the only way you can do that is with, psychological freaking methods of jacking you up, or you don't have enough plastic in your diet. That's another thing. We've been working on, being healthy and getting away from the man and quit smearing the man all over you and so on. So we get it, Donna makes her own antiperspirants, her own soaps, her own lotions, her own creams. And, and I'm not for taking a step back. I'm like, yeah, but I want it to be better. Well, it's gotten to where it's better. Better. We'll start marketing it and do it and kind of everything. But I tell you one of the things that is a concern. All the dispensers and applicators and everything is plastic. And I'm going, is there a glass version? Is there some way you can do glass? Can you have refills of antiperspirant into a, stainless steel, whatever the hell? So we're working on that too. Because plastic. Look at this pure, great water of whatever in this plastic bottle leaching the petroleum product they got in my brain through the container. They wouldn't do that. That'd be wrong. Right. Okay. So what we're doing in the second and third hour is Star Child wants to come back on. He's like, to discuss his presentation for the City College Mission Campus San Francisco, because that was one of the things that he was doing later the day that we talked to him about immigration. He's a libertarian activist and was on the Libertarian National Committee and everything out of San Francisco. But he was going down last week, and he decided to run for student council president. Oh, at his college. All right. Yeah, he's taking some classes. He's going to run for student council. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So what he's doing is the presentation was about how much ID you had to give up and everything to register for school. You got to have your Gmail account and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa. Has Google got into the university? Nope. Requirement for higher education, you got to have a Gmail account. Well, of course you do. Because when you hook up your mobile devices and all your computers, I totally agree to let Google totally agree so I get my email and goodies and benefits and privileges of I totally agree. And then they're all over your stuff. So I'm like, all right. So I'm going to Star Child on this one. This is going to be some fun. Okay, now go ahead and go through who we got coming up, next week.
Next Tuesday,
We have Joby Weeks. He's got a new multi-level thing.
He always got a new multi-level
Canagro,
thing.
This has to do with cannabis or hemp. So anyway, I'm not entirely
Okay,
sure how it
what
works
we're
yet.
going to talk about on that is I'm going to have Barry has this big multi-level thing. So I'm just like, if I do it, he and I think today we'll do. I'll just let you go. Go because there's no sense in doing it if you're not going to really actively pursue it and do something or whatever. But, Joby's been a good friend for whatever, and he's always whatever, and I'm like, whatever. Okay, you want $350 so I can buy, some plants or something, or a plant or whatever it is. It's a multi-level to where you are buying actually a plant in a cannabis grow, and that plant produces what, and then you take some of the profit, you buy another plant. It's one of those kind of things, or eventually in your multi-level, you own a farm. Well, these multi-level things, whether somebody at the bottom even makes any money, ever makes their money back or not, is kind of an aside. People at the top, of course, they make it, so you just got to have more people come in, and you get your downline, you make money. Well, I'm going, yeah, but I tell you one thing it does is it massively explodes whatever the heck it is that you're doing. And you get a lot of people a financial incentive, and whether you get rich or not, you have built a big giant Canagro, I can tell you that. And that happened with Bit Club Network. They immediately became 6% of the hash power and Bitcoin reward with Bitcoin. Now, how did that go down to individuals? I got my Bitcoin back, and and still I don't even know if it's. I go check it every now and then, and there's like a little bit more Bitcoin. So I'm good. I didn't get like filthy stinking rich or anything, but I wasn't looking at the money amount. I was looking at the amount of Bitcoin. Now this endeavor is growing. You're not buying Bitcoin or mining Bitcoin. You're growing marijuana. So if you're kind of like, for the health and of the planet and have this, and we got a bunch, and it just benefits and cheaper of the whatever. All right, I'll do that. Will you make it back? I don't know. Barry's gonna go for it, man. That's his thing. And having cannabis growing and pieces up, make money, man. That's just checked off all the boxes for him. So we're gonna do that today. I told him I didn't have enough money to go in with him, come whatever. So we'll talk about it with Joby on Tuesday, and I do it just because I support Joby and him out doing freedom and jumping in the North Pole water stuff. I mean, all the crap he does. But he'll be on Tuesday, explain it to us. But I know what's going to happen. Of all the other stuff, blah, 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 let me tell you what's going to happen. It is going to be a big, giant, oh my God, people got pre-funded, there it is, bunch of plants. It's already started in Europe, and where is it? It's Sweden or
I don't remember.
Netherlands
I know
or
it's
something.
overseas.
So it's so I'm interested. Now the problem with Bit Club was that you couldn't do it unless you had a VPN or you lived out of the country. You couldn't. America can't do it. Americans can't. We found out you American, you're not allowed to do that. So that was a hamper on its growth. Certainly in America. So they got it structured in such a way that you can. So I'm going, okay, well, we need to hear all about that. So I just, whatever. I do it because, it's Joby. But, a lot of people, they ain't good enough reason to do it. When we come back, Donna will give us some of the other people that are coming up, and we'll yak it with her a little bit. We'll be right back.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government control 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Anyone can publish on the internet, but not everyone is publishing material suited for online reading. According to the Yahoo Style Guide, it cautions that internet content has a few seconds, 3 or less, to encourage people to read more, to take action, or navigate to another one of your pages. So make it easy for readers to pick and choose. Isn't that the way you poke around online? Use short words, short sentences, short paragraphs, bulleted lists, and short pages. Front load what you write, putting the most important information at the beginning of headlines and paragraphs and sentences. Same goes for your keywords, what someone would likely type into the search box on Yahoo or Google. For more tips on communicating better online or in a job interview or everyday life, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock. To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800.
Welcome back to freedomsphoenix.com's Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock. Because I can. The rest of the week, next week, I want to go over some of the guests that are going to be on. But one of them that we worked out with Mark J. Victor, attorney for freedom.com, is October 1st. It's on the 1st, which is a Tuesday, which is Trump Report Day. So, yeah, we have... Frank, well, they want me to go. I told Mark I'd go out to his law offices, which is in the freaking East Valley of the East on the other side of freaking got to drive way hell over there. But he's got a nice office, and we do it in his office. I set up, and I got the remote thing, and we'll just do it there. And he gets to be on his own turf. I'm not sure. He likes an audience, though. You know, he may have, get all his staff in. They can golf clap at the right time.
Yeah, it'd be kind of early for that though.
No, yeah, that's right. Maybe it won't be that. But so we'll do a whole 3-hour show, and this is going to be Mark v. Ernie, on the path to the future of how. And I don't see them as they're complementary as far as I'm concerned. It's just Mark wants, I don't know, agreement, absolution, something, and but I'll help him do whatever the hell he wants. I don't care, but that doesn't mean I can't do what I want. But, so we're going to have this discussion because we're going to he's very prominent in the media here. And when I push the button, it's kind of, I get to say hello on a bunch of stuff too. So this is what tact is it going to be? Is it going to be, because he knows that it's going to be, well, I don't know, those libertarian activists and nerdy and revolutionaries, those guys over there, they're saying this about that. What say you? No, well, I think we need to be more pragmatic about and how in principle kind of sort of something. And so it'll be a competing thing, which has not been a problem in the past. Like Barry Hess and I represented two different methods. He kind of morphed into us, but, that those arguments have been going on forever and towards the same goal, and you got diversity of thought, of method, and so I don't care, but Mark wants to discuss it, so we're gonna give it what for. And we just had yesterday we had on Clint Pollock, Arizona Supreme Court Justice, and Daphne, did you send that to Mark?
Actually, no, I didn't do that right now.
Yeah, do that now. Just send him the link, for it. I told him I would, and see what we'd be talking about. And talking about, Mark and I are going to be talking about it. That's what we're going to be doing. This is, in Arizona, my experience has been that you're up against something. There is an all-powerful, all-knowing, and you just feel it when you're talking to anybody in the media, any of these nonprofit organizations, freedom-oriented, kind of, sort of, almost, there's a line. And it seems to me that big part of it is land development. There is some, if that's a tippy top, I'm sure they're all, meshed into how they're going to, take care of me and they benefit in one way or another. But it is the one thing that has just really been a constant has been their control of land. So I'm gonna ping that a little bit for a lot of reasons. But it's gonna cause, I'm gonna get visited. They want to explain it to me. They're gonna be, first they start with that. All right, this is the 5 steps. First they just ignore you. It's kind of this Gandhi thing, okay? And before I even heard of that, first they ignore you, then they, make fun of you, they fight you, and you win, that kind of thing. But my experience, before I even heard of that, I could see it. The first thing, they ignore you, they ignore you, say, they'll go away, leave them alone. If you're still around, you're having an impact, being a pain in the butt and starting up and growing and starting to, have some general public opinion impact, kind of, woo, then they want to explain it to you. They'll come in and they'll do that. Are you sure you want to do this gaslighting thing? You sure? I don't know if you think that's not really what's going. Are you sure? Up against the people up there, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? And you'll get that from everywhere. They'll come, I don't know, man. You're messing with. Now, is it just conditioned to say that? Because I say the same thing. When I interview people, I go, look, I just want you to know what you're up against. I'm willing to help. We'll go kick ass. I'm not, serving up to the slaughter unaware, that kind of thing. But, no, you don't want to do that. It's that kind of thing. It's cooler. They have people, it's either by natural, they're just condition them to be that way, and, here it comes. Or if they can't get people to do it, they actually instigate it. And you'll go to a meeting, and there'll be that one. I was at the Maricopa County meeting, and it was the county, one of the officers, I won't say who, he goes, well, if we do that, then it gets cooler. They're just conditioned to be the no guy. And then, okay, well, I get it. And they just, a good idea just kind of goes away because somebody kind of, planted doubt. Where's the guy go, hell yeah, everything works. The answer is yes. That was my thing. I go, yep, yes. Yes. Oh, it's something I should do. Well, that's different. If you need a title and a shiny badge and a business card, man, I'll just make that bad boy up right now. Hey, boom, you're in charge of whatever. What did you just say? Okay, you're in charge of it. You know, the answer is always yes. It's just how much. How much money, how much effort are you willing to put in? Yes. Well, it's just a good idea. I was hoping like you would do my good idea as opposed to doing your own good idea. And I'm going, no. But if you need somebody to say yes, I'm the yes guy. Yes, I think that's a great idea. You should do that. What do you need help to do it? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So when you do that, there are a lot of people that go, yeah, okay, well, I'm on it. And if you're always yes, you get a bunch of stuff going. And everything kind of sticks a little bit, and it's cumulative. Well, what happens is people go, nah, but I think we should spend other people's money this way. And I'm like, whoa. So that's why it's organization. I'm nope. So I went to the meeting, saw some old friends, made some new ones, and so on. You know, told them stuff that we're doing and why, and you know, kind of whatever. But to try and do it as an organized, hierarchical absolution, if somebody gets to say no, no. So this is going to be yes, everything. I'm just like, yes, let's do it. Well, do what? Well, it's always a freedom thing. And we're talking to Justice Bullock, and here it comes. You're going to get, it's going to be, how much can we talk about and say, and then you got to recuse yourself or something like that. You know, we got to get all specific about it. I just went, here comes Ernie, all right? It's going to be some narrow, itty-bitty little constitutional kind of argument of. And they're going to go, damn, I hate when he does that. It's like either, role of government or it's not. It's constitutional or it's not. And he got it right here and he did this and we got him that. Can we dismiss this? Well, now it's gotten to where we have enough high-profile, been from the ground up, activist, libertarian, knows what's up, Clint's there, and here comes, God, what the hell is Montgomery? Bill Montgomery, the county attorney. He's been on for less than a week and Mark knows him. So between Clint and Montgomery and Mark and I, and the legal and the activist, it's going to be interesting pot being stirred. Is it not? Now, will Mark be my attorney? Now, hell no. He doesn't do the civil kind of this activist stuff. That's like, all right. But when they come get you and throw you in jail and take all your stuff, and you call me. But, maybe we could do something together. I think that's what, it might be something we discuss. And, but for me, it's really, there's stipulated facts. I don't have to do some investigation. Hell, they admitted they did it. Yeah, we denied this and made you do that, and there's nothing you can do about it and get over it. And I go, okay, let's go talk about it before the Supreme Court. So this is, I tell you, we're open right now. Hello, is this thing on? Here we come. We'll have some fun. To what? To educate people. Just so they know what's up. October 1st, that Tuesday. So we'll need to work with Frank on, when we're going to do the Trump report. I don't want to miss any Trump. I miss me some Frank. We had, plus one of the other doctors is a good friend of Mark's that I met in Hawaii and at the football game, Patriots versus the Steelers, which is Mark versus Donna. So we were at that party and that doctor from the same college that Frank was there. So we're going to work with them. From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the Crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The Crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the Crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the Crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even a mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Freedom is the answer. What's the question?
I want to break free.
You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
I want to break free. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied. I need you. I've got to break free.
Yep, we're breaking free here one way or another. All right, this is what I want to show you. Well, first off, Donna. All right. God, I got a loose wire on this thing. My expensive microphone. Okay. Who are the other guests next week that we got going on?
Well, you talked about Dr. Daniel Lark, regenerative medicine. He'll be on Wednesday.
Now, he is a naturopath that's also from the same college that Dr. Frank is. And we had met him and his wife and kind of a couple of times, and we're like, hey, come on, we'll intro you. Well, Dr. Frank, knows him, of course, and I was talking to Dr. Frank about the distribution and getting some. We had $1,000 donation to the Vaccine Education Summit, anonymous. We just want to get $1,000 so we can have 50% reduction for 20 people, because there's a lot of people that just can't afford. Even it's $100. It's not that much for them, but you got costs. I go, nope. Until we make the money back, then we'll start worrying about sponsoring and discounted whatever the heck. And so now we're pretty good on that. And but this person said, look, I tell you what, I'll give you $1,000, and you can bring it from $100 down to $50 for 20 people. I go, Yeah, that's cool. So we do. I don't even know who it was. Yeah, I had a lot of people talk to me and so on, but they just did it, and for that reason. And I'm going, okay, we do that. So that means that if I sponsor and we got our cost covered, and it's just the meal, which is like $25, $30 or something like that. Then the students we get something in there. So we got a bunch of the packets and so on. Dr. Frank said, all right, here's the person that really runs the school. All right, she's like been there for decades and decades, and I'm gonna hook you up. All right, you do with that. You got me, you got the other doctor, you got so we'll get you taken care of. But because they got the pressure of being accredited, because we need to be just like all the other medical companies, and they bring them in, they entice, you got to sign here, do that. Vaccinations. So this is part of the requirement of getting some kind of federal aid to loan something. There's some vaccination thing that's now in this naturopathic school, and I'm like,
it's not a good place to be putting.
Really? Well, so now I'm going, all right, so let's go whip ass. So I'm going to go down today after the show, and then we'll make the call, go down, pass out, and be somebody. Yeah, hello. So we'll have some fun with that. So I need, the vaccine education summit banners that we have, the square one and the long one. I need some of those, printed up on the color up here, and we'll just put some clear packing tape over it and just put it on the little envelope now, and I will do it. So we need to do that. So just make a bunch of those, and if you can make them on the photo card stock, that photograph, the nice, the paper and so on, it'd be like it was a printed label or something.
We'll talk about that.
Ain't gonna talk about nothing. Go do it over there. I got a big, giant, expensive printer.
How big do you want it?
Enough to be about mini bumper sticker size to put on. I just want it's got to be enough that I can tape it onto the front of the envelope. Okay. Boom, done. I won't talk about it too much.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't know if this will handle all that ink.
No, by the time that you got we talked about and then it's into the show, I go, you already had it done, so just did it. How many you can print like 6 up on a sheet or something? Did. So we did. Because we already got the artwork, it's all done. Just print, color printer over there, done. So now, who else is coming on?
Dr. Judy next Wednesday is normal, and then we have on Thursday, third hour, Richard Grieco. Those are the Orville guys. So have them come back on.
Now, is it the same guy we had on before?
Yeah.
The Precariat. Pirates in space.
They did a really good.
They kind of took some liberties in the the way the things work, and kind of it's the same ship. It's just like the outside ducted fans are just hollow and they're kind of thrusters. They didn't do the horizontal stabilizer because I don't really like it. I don't know, whatever. I don't care. And it's pirate. They pirated my pirate ship.
I thought it was cool. You showed me the video of it. It was
really it's awesome. I was like, this is what I mean by
do it.
Yes. The power of I want to talk about it. Just do it. Well, do you think? Well, I don't care what I think. You're the one to do it. Just do it. You have my permission slip from the King Mark. I mean, what is it you guys are waiting on? Pirates. Well, you bunch of libertarian pirates. You drove on the public road, didn't you? Pirate. It's my new answer to everything. Pirate, All right. There's one thing I want to go over for the end of the show. Now, Mark Victor is always in the news on something. I mean, it's just and that's when he and I will behind the scenes we do stuff. Now, the thing is, this is what's he's been really kind of and to some criticism. He's like going, there are good cops. We got to take care of the good cops. There's some good cops, and we're defending the good cops, and they're going kind of overboard on this cop, and he wasn't that bad a cop, and this is circumstances of we're going to take care of the men in blue and the thin line of you can count on Mark if you're on the right side, which I don't have a problem with at all. Okay, go make sure to defend the boys. Now, when there is they're a bad guy, oh man, we go get some. So Mark Victor it's attorneysforfreedom.com. And it used to be Attorney for Freedom, and now that his law firm, you have to go through the vetting process and sign here and give a blood oath of a pirate code of his law firm. Now, which is a good way of putting it. He got his own little pirate code, and it's thou shalt not aggressive, we're a libertarian thing. So it's attorneysforfreedom.com now instead of attorney. And the reason is because he goes, I'm tired of work. No, hell no. You got to be this or you're not even here. And why he took so long to do this, I have no idea. But it's just, I mean, it's hard to get hardcore, good, effective attorneys that, are all totally freedom-oriented, I guess. So we're going to talk about that. Now, this case is a DPS, which is Department of Public Safety, is Highway Patrol here in Arizona. This is a state policeman, a Highway Patrol trooper, Tremaine Jackson. Well, it wouldn't be a surprise he's black. But anyway, Tremaine Jackson, who was arrested for sex acts. Now, this is what happened. He would pull people over, and he'd go, what's up? You looking kind of tight there, baby. Come over here and polish my pistol handle or something. I mean, it was really bad, and it was just a regular thing. Well, eventually, one of the victims, got hold of Mark and said, "Oh, what can you do for me?" Well, of course, that if this has happened once, it's happened a gazillion times, and here it comes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play. This is all over the news here. This is like a big, oh my God deal. So we'll go ahead and play this a little bit going into the break. All right, wait. Where's the audio? Oh, here it is.
Because, people expect that when you're dealing with a police officer, you're dealing with one of the good guys. And in this case, she was dealing with one of the bad guys.
All new in the first 10, we are hearing from the attorney of an alleged victim of Tremaine Jackson. He is, of course, now the former DPS trooper accused of abusing his power, trying to force women that he pulled over into sex acts.
To protect her identity, the attorney we talked to is not saying which victim he represents, but as Lindsay Reiser explains, he says she is traumatized.
She's very traumatized. It makes her much more concerned about police officers and being pulled over.
Attorney Mark Victor says his client was the first person to complain to DPS about now former trooper Tremaine Jackson's alleged behavior during a traffic stop. At the time, he says she didn't know there were other victims.
It was something that she reflected on, but felt like it was her duty, really, to the community to report this.
Court records describe incidents dating back to last fall. Jackson is accused of holding victims for up to 2 hours, bargaining with them for sex acts, nude photos, and their social media accounts to avoid a ticket or jail time.
It was also about, really, racism. I mean, she is a Latina, and he made some horribly racist comments about Latino people.
Victor says his client felt re-victimized when she was initially called by troopers investigating this.
They started asking her questions about how she was dressed and whether she felt like she was dressed in a provocative manner such that it would be more justified for the trooper to say the things that he said, which to me is such an outrage.
Lindsay Reiser for Arizona's Family.
Oh, yeah. You can see this is going to be good. It came out to be like some ridiculous number. I mean, like 61 sticks in my... It was a lot, okay? There are people going, yeah, I know that guy. Who are you going to report it to? What are you going to do? Attorneysforfreedom.com. With a little bit of Ernie there. Doesn't hurt. We're going to have some fun with this one. But, what's the end game here? Is the system going to take care of their own house? We'll find out.
Free Talk Live, the show where anyone can call about whatever they want. And we do mean anyone.
The first point is it's legal, and that's important. Now, my question to you would be, they gashed Jews legally in Germany.
He was the dominant, and the accusers were his subordinates, something she sees often with sexual abuse cases. She says they likely complied to his commands to touch his groin because they were in shock.
Your guard is down. So you're much more thinking, this is someone who will protect, take care of me. So when you think about how that can turn, and it just makes your brain spin, and it's really hard to recover from that, and you just sort of lose your mental ability to wrap your brain around that.
Dr. Pepper says the women likely faced another internal challenge in reporting the abuse because he was a trooper. She says the higher the authority, the less likely women feel their story will be seen as the truth. DPS believes there are more victims out there. They have a hotline and a form online. If you think Jackson was inappropriate with you, it's all on azfamily.com. Chris, seeing back to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's thus far, it is 8 victims. Yeah, where did I get the 61 from? There was 61 something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so there's, when you do one, it might as well be. I mean, how many people you pull in. And I'm just going to give you a ticket. You're not as attractive as I thought you was. Ooh, you so pretty. Oh, that's a lovely brassiere you have there. That real red light, man, just get me going. Woo, baby, and we need to go back to my patrol car. Whatever. This is... what's the history of this guy? How long has he been on the service? Where did he come? What was his home like? I mean, you're going to find out a lot and they're recruiting. The law enforcement, they need more peoples. That was one thing that was a big deal about a decade ago, or maybe a little bit more. It was in the 2000s, that there weren't enough people to be officers. And one of the things that they dropped as a requirement was the elimination of tattoos. All of a sudden now you got officers, man, they're all tatted up. It's like gang members. It's a gang with a flag. They got a blue flag. And it takes, it takes, what a good cop is one that turns in a bad cop. Where are the good cops on this stuff? How many other officers knew? What is there? It's authoritarian sociopathy. This is Dobby's paper on this. It was really amazing. The only time that law enforcement ever acts appropriately within their limits and all that kind of stuff is when everybody, including them, know that they're illegitimate, that they're not doing it, they're not there to protect. When it becomes common knowledge that this kind of stuff goes on all the time to varying degrees, then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we got to act like we're doing our job for a while, or we just won't have any support. And people will be standing there and watching the guy beat the crap out of the officer and take their gun and just videotape it. Going, yeah, well, so you need our support. Law enforcement needs our support, just to not bug them. Hell, to keep paying taxes and their pensions and so on. So it's just, yep. We're going to have some very revealing conversations and stuff on this. And this is just part of it. There was another when that Friday that the Freedom Summit started in February, we start, and then there was a big news thing Mark's involved with, this one too, to where a guy got pulled over and he wouldn't do anything. He's there with this small boy, or boys, I think it is, at least one child, and the mom, and they dragged him out, got him in handcuffs on the asphalt facing down, hands behind him. He pulled down his shorts, stuck the taser up against his balls at the bottom of his crack, and pulled the trigger. Well, that same kind of crap, an older man, same thing happened on body cam just this last week. Another old man pulled him out, and you can tell officers just pissed, shut up. It was amazing what's going to happen to him. Now, this would go to the county attorney. In fact, the other one did, and they said, I had nothing to see here. And it was that county attorney that just got appointed to the Supreme Court. Yeah, okay, so we're going to see how this works. So we're going to file it. Who else is looking at this stuff? Who else? I mean, they'll do the news story and everything, but then what? Who's held responsible for this? Where does this go? Well, we're going to cover it, and we'll find out. So that'd be a good show, the 1st of October. All right, Donna's getting Star Child on. We'll be right back.
In addition to organizing half of the outside investments, Ferris was also one of the key investors behind a similar center at Imperial College in London, which was said to be the first of its kind in the world when it opened. Researchers at the new Johns Hopkins facility will be studying psychedelic substances and their effect on the human brain. The trade war has so far killed off about 300,000 jobs and cost Americans about $1.6 billion in tariffs. The taxes are driving up prices and businesses are cutting workers to make ends meet in the face of rising costs. Activist Post reports that there will be no winner in the trade war, and already the United States looks a lot like the loser. Casualties are coming in the form of farm bankruptcies and lost jobs, not to mention the rising cost of goods, further harming those already living paycheck to paycheck. The fact is the trade war is causing measurable damage to the U.S. economy, with the pain likely to worsen in the coming months. According to Yahoo News, forecasting firm Moody's Analytics estimates that Trump's trade war with China has already reduced U.S. employment by 300,000 jobs, compared with likely employment levels absent the trade war. Coupled with the fact that in July alone, U.S. importers paid a record $6.8 billion in tariffs. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snos.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNOS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and sns.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Shortly after creating a profile on OkCupid.com, local man Malcolm Lighty, a person with severe psychological and emotional issues, told reporters he thought it was best to just never mention the fact there was something seriously wrong with him on the popular dating website.
The thing about online dating is you don't want to get too personal too quickly. Like, for example, how I'm a textbook narcissist with unresolved intimacy issues, or the fact that I have no sense of empathy. Nobody wants to hear about that. When you're making a first impression, it's important that you keep it casual and don't include too much information. You don't want to be talking about your inability to maintain a relationship because of a history of violent mood swings.
Lighty told reporters while his OkCupid profile includes extensive details about his favorite movies, love of cooking, and interest in cars, he thought he was, quote, just better off not mentioning the borderline personality disorder that makes it impossible for him to connect with another person on any kind of meaningful level.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah, declare your independence. With me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, from the beautiful studios of Freedom's the Nest, Phoenix.com. Star Child, another independence declared kind of individual there in California. We talked to him last week about some immigration stuff and everything, but one of his activism things going on, he's at going to college. So he's at the college, he's taking classes in college, want to do something in college. But in the process, they're going, oh, we need a DNA sample. You know, you got to get biometric kind of and provide your own. Oh, by the way, you got to get a Google account or something. And he's like, so what? So he's starting to pursue that, and I'm going, yes, I want to hear every little thing. So, Star Child, welcome to the show. He's an activist. He's been on the Libertarian National Committee. He's libertarian. I've known him for 20-something years, libertarian. And he's in San Francisco. And he's a sex worker. And he's all the other freedom kind of oriented stuff. But he's not you're not a big marijuana or drug guy, are you? I don't even think I've ever even seen you do drugs.
You're joking, right, Ernie?
I don't know. I don't remember. Let me see. And maybe a little bit. All right. So
I enjoy my intoxicants of choice. Yes.
Well, I've never seen you imbibe.
One of them. Even though California, you know, they talk, oh, we have legalization here. You know, it's really been phony legalization. You know, there's still people sitting in jail in the state for cannabis offenses, and you still can't smoke in public, and they're taxing, regulating the hell out of the...
you know, there's an initiative here in Arizona. If it passes, it expunges the record and lets everybody out, and you're done.
Oh, good.
So I'm like, really? Wow, that's excellent. Okay. Well, there's a bunch of votes right there. All right. So tell us what the problem was that you described to us when you were participating in your local higher education, and what concerns you, what you did about, what you found out, where we are. Go.
Yeah, well, it's not quite as bad as the DNA sample. that didn't happen. But yeah, they're
this week. Man,
the
don't laugh.
registration process. Yeah, well, that's true. You never know what they're going to try to push down our throats in the future, right? The funny thing is, the City College, they call it here, City College of San Francisco is the school I'm talking about. It's basically a local community college, and last year they pushed through legislation making it quote-unquote free, which of course means free to students as far as not having to pay tuition. Of course, the taxpayers pick up the bill, and the textbooks are still, it can cost you as much probably as paying for classes at some schools. I'm taking two classes. I'm taking a fiction writing class and a Spanish class, and the Spanish class is credit for credit, and the other one is no credit. So no credit class is great. That's just the way I like it. There's no book, no pressure. The teacher's like, hey, I just want you to write. Homework assignments, but it's optional. You just come in here and you write. This class is Katie writing, and there's no books by. Well, the Spanish class, when I looked for the book online, they have it available for rental. It's kind of a little strange until you see how much the book costs. The rental price is $30. And this is for a soft-bound, 8.5 by 11 size workbook.
What?
Yeah, that's to rent it. To buy it is from $80 to $125. It's called Avance, A-V-A-N-C-E, third edition. You can look it up on Amazon or something if you're curious. But yeah, so they're still finding other ways to make their money. But anyway, yeah, the registration process is complicated and confusing. And you would think that making the tuition free, it would get easier. Like, okay, well, since you're not collecting money through the registration process, that you don't really need all this stuff. But yeah, they after I finally figured out how to register and did that, they sent me 7 emails immediately show up in my inbox after I sent the registration. And one of those emails was explaining that you can basically, here's how to set up a CCSF email address. And oh, by the way, we're not going to send any emails to you at other addresses. We're just going to use the CCSF email address, and you will be held responsible. I think those are the exact words used. You will be held responsible for information at this address. And I could include important information related.
Okay, wait. You will be held responsible for what?
Information sent to you at that CCSF email address.
Okay.
So I think they're pressuring you to set up this email address, which, I didn't want to need. It's like send my regular address. Why do I need a special new email address, right? But anyway, they had a link in there. So I clicked on the link, and it took me to a Google page. So I thought, well, maybe I screwed me up. Let me try it again. Same result. Basically, you go to this link that they provided to set up their college email account, and it takes you to a Google login page. And basically, okay, if you already have a Google account, you can log in here. Otherwise, here's the Google thing to create an account. So it sure looked to me like they're forcing everybody who goes to college to do business with Google, to give Google their personal information. Now, when I went and brought this up at the meeting that I told you about last time, and you guys published on the 18th, kind of announcing basically my write-up on this that I said.
That got more attention than I thought. We put that up there, and people, yeah, I know, I want, did you get any email or support from us putting that up there and what you were doing?
Nobody's contacted me about it as far as I know.
I heard about it. I got some email. It's like 2 or 3, but it was something. I got noticed, so I just stopped wondering what happened. All right, so you go to the meeting and you get what?
The thing was, I walked into there. This is, keep in mind, City College has like a whole bunch of different, I don't know how much real estate they actually own in the city, but they have 6 so-called campuses, and that's not counting all the different buildings that aren't part of a quote-unquote campus. So there's one of them that's near me, so that's the one I'm going to. I made sure to select classes that were at that campus. So I don't even want to go to their main campus, which is like on the other side of town. So anyway, each of these 6 campuses has its own student council. I learned at this meeting. And it turned out this was basically, although they didn't really advertise this, they called it a town hall meeting. They also promised coffee, which wasn't there. And
the liars! All right.
So it was basically the student trustee was there, who's, the college is run by an elected board of trustees, and there's a non-voting student member who's elected by the student. And so this guy was there, and there was a faculty advisor that was kind of there, I guess, to help him, and also an administrative person. They were kind of there to help him.
Well, how many people go to this? How big is this? I mean, you got 200, 2,000.
Well, the college as a whole, I don't know. In fact, I asked them at the meeting how many students are there. None of them could answer that. They didn't know how many people were at the Mission campus. They didn't know I said, well, approximately. No, they couldn't tell me.
Wow.
But anyway, it's thousands. And it was San Francisco State where I went before and got my actual degree is about 20,000. But, a lot of students, especially in a city like San Francisco, a lot of people are
Okay, time out. Star Child has a degree, and we got to know in what. And
what do you think, Curry?
I have no idea. I bet you it's some techie business, something. You were in the military or did something for tech. You have a creative past. You can tell me in the break here because it really doesn't matter. I'm just personally curious. But,
yeah.
And then what you're going to take classes, it doesn't matter. But he's there. They got Star Child all over him, man. What are they going to do about it? We're going to find out when we come back. Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
Is spreading the message.
All right, real quick. One, what's your degree in? I think you told me at one time. It's some business thing or something. What is it?
Journalism.
Okay, journalism. All right, then you're going back to school now for crochet, basket weaving of IT something. What?
Well, actually, the impetus for me to go was because they did make it free, and I realized I want to buy a new computer, and I can get like a 10% discount from Apple if I'm a student. So that's actually why I decided to take classes this semester. Although I want to become fluent in Spanish anyways. I've been sort of working on that anyway, so I sort of already got there. And I'm also trying to write a novel, actually a sci-fi fantasy trilogy. So I'm training to also do more writing, fiction writing. So those things were already on my plate, kind of, and this is, okay, I'll do it formally at this school this semester.
So you're taking like a journalism class or book writing something or whatever?
It's called the Writer's Workshop for quote-unquote older adults.
Very cool.
It's basically non-credit, lifelong learning kind of class.
Yeah, you don't care. I mean, just learn something. That's cool. All right.
Yeah. I mean, and when I'm in the class, the teacher here and the location, that's really all that you need for this. All the rest of this stuff, the registration, everything, is just a bunch of time-wasting bullshit. I wasn't supposed to say it on the air, I guess, but yeah, it's just, it's amazing when you think about how simple it really is, what's really needed, how complicated they make it. But anyway, so I went to this meeting. When I walk in there, I'm thinking, I don't know how many students are at the Mission campus, but, I saw flyers for this thing all over the place and stuff. I figure, okay, there's going to be, a few dozen people. I walk in, there's like 3 people there besides myself, including the presenter. And people did straggle in late. Like, by the time the thing actually wrapped up, there was maybe 2-3 dozen people there. But I was kind of surprised that it didn't get more turnout. Being that they're like begging people to get involved with student council, because, as I said, each one of these 6 campuses gets its own student council, but Mission and a couple others don't have a current student council.
And I saw, kind of scanning over your thing, they may have a budget.
That's right. I found
wait. Save that for the show. We're going to talk all about this. All right, I'm going to sum all this up.
I thought we were on the show.
No, we went into break.
Okay.
Well, no, see, this is it's recorded, and it'll be part of the archive and
Yeah,
video,
okay.
everything, but it's just not the live broadcast on the network. All right, here we
Right.
go. Here we go.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800. 602-264-2800. And now, Ernest Hancock.
Star Chop from San Francisco. All right. This is what we're going to do. Let me sum it up real quick. One, they made it free for you to be able to get classes, continuing adult education, of get credit and kind of don't care, go and learn something. Well, he's a journalism major that he graduated from college, got his whatever degree, and now what is he doing? Well, he's I can go back to school. Oh, and it's free? Okay, well, we'll do that. Oh, and I can get a 10% discount on the next computer I got to get from Apple. Okay, well, let's do that. And I can do this, and we can go to the meetings, and we have a student council. Oh, and they got a budget, and you need people. Well, hell, I can fill all those categories. So here comes Star Child. They have no idea what they're getting into. Okay, so in the process of registering, you could see that they were forcing you into getting or certainly enticing you, and you're not going to be able to get anything unless you sign up with Google. And I'm going, this is San Francisco. They're all Googleizing everything up there. So it has been, that'd be like the first place. They probably got a Roma tour how they're doing it. So, and then, of course, it spreads across the planet. So you went to the meeting, which there's a few guys there. There's like, the faculty member, the student rep, and you, and then by the end of the meeting you have a couple dozen, 3 dozen people or something. But it was just you're sitting there and you getting asked all kinds of. Were you asking a lot of questions? Were you dominating the meeting, Star Child?
I was doing my best. The reason I actually went to the meeting, I didn't know it was going to be about the student council stuff at all. That wasn't really the focus of it, as far as I knew. The first thing I saw was a town hall meeting, and I later saw some flyers that did mention student council. But it seemed like more it was about students being able to ask questions and stuff. And I'd run into this thing, registering with Google. And then I also ran into another thing, which I talk about in the article published on Freedom Phoenix, which is they have a help desk, which they need because, like I said, the process is confusing and you can't find the classes or they don't list it on or credit classes online, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so when you call this help desk, it's a city college number, like a lot of the phone numbers they have from the school, it's area code 415, which is our local area code here, and, a whole lot of those phone numbers they have a 239 prefix. So like 445, 239, and 3711 is the last 4 of this particular number for the help desk. And you call and they're recording, and thank you for calling the City College Help Desk, blah, blah, blah. Well, when you actually talk to people, it turns out they're in an office in Florida. And in asking a couple more questions, I found out it's actually not City College. It's a private company that they contract with called Ellucian, Ellucian. Probably a coincidence that CIA are 3 of the letters in there. But the company actually turned out is a global multinational with headquarters in the same county in Virginia where the CIA is located.
Oh, my God.
And, just reading the description of the company online, and, they have offices in like 12 countries or something around the world, and they bill themselves as like the #1 provider of software for higher education, all this. And I'm thinking, if I was like a senior CIA spook or something, and I'm trying to figure out like how to gather information on people in other countries, it strikes me that a company like this would be extremely useful to, instead of having to go and fight on these colleges where the future elite of the world are getting their educations and having useful indiscretions and all this, just make it like you're providing the services to college and get them to give you the information, right?
Yeah, you will vote this way on this legislation, new congressman, because we know when we got your Google Hangout of the email with the girl, the boy, the whatever, the kind of young, and you're ours now, get over it, and we rule you.
Well, maybe. I mean, this is all speculation.
What do you mean, maybe?
I have no...
No, they wouldn't do that. That'd be wrong. If they can... They are, and the fact that they have the ability from the time that you're 18, you're going to college, I'm going to sign up for everything, give me everything. You don't even 30 years later, you don't even recognize the kid that you were back then and what you did and why and all this.
Right. No, it's totally plausible, and that's why I mentioned it. I have no direct evidence.
I do.
Intelligence agencies of the government or anything.
Life experience of the guy. If they can, they are. So I feel pretty confident about saying yes. They collect this information for use later for whatever the hell, whether aggregate or individual. It's called a person of interest request. And every single bit of data on something, you think that they're looking at it live. They're not. They link it to your identity. And whenever they do a person of information request, they look at every single video and photo of everything associated with you. I'll give you an example. When they did the freeway cameras here in Arizona, every time you get off the freeway as you're driving, license plate picture, license plate exit, license plate got here, camera at they go back, they collect all information, but when they do a person of information request, it goes and anything associated with you gets pulled into the file and let's take a look at it. Yeah. And all of this includes that.
They're using those automated license plate readers down there now. There's actually there's some privacy activists here in the Bay Area, mostly on the left. There's a group called Oakland Privacy Working Group that's had some good success in fighting back against some of that stuff.
Well, they took the cameras down here, the pinky swear. I mean, like I believe them anyway.
Right. I mean, even BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit, the local light rail, they wanted to put these everywhere, and we beat them back on that, at least temporarily. They've got regular cameras on all the trains, but they wanted to put all these automated license plate readers in all their parking lots for the system.
Yeah, everything. Everything. Okay, so now you and I have not, lulled people into they maybe someday in the future they kind of almost can't. No, they are, okay, in my opinion. Come somebody sue me and tell me I'm wrong, okay? Let's go get discovery. So I'm willing to say it, all right? Yes, of course they are. They have accumulated information from young people that aren't even 20 yet. They start off with if they don't already have it with a Facebook account and whatever other crap they got when they're younger, they definitely got the Matrix, cable in the back of their head now at this school. I guarantee it. So it's our child, open it up. So don't hedge on them. All right, so you've hedged yourself enough that you're not in trouble, but I didn't. Okay, so anyway. All right, so go from there. They got you.
My journalistic background. I'm trying to be a responsible journalist here.
Yeah, me too. Anyway. They're doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think people should definitely be aware of the possibility. Yeah. The thing that got me, looking into this company though was because when I called them up, as well as the recording saying, thank you for calling City College Office, whatever. You wait on hold, and then there's a message that says this call may be monitored for quality assurance, words to that effect. And, as many of your listeners probably know, there's a lot of big corporations and some government agencies that do this. But this is a real pet peeve of mine, and every single time that I encounter one of these systems, I complain to the person that I get connected with, and so I'll pass along to your management that people are complaining about this, the violation of privacy, recording people's calls without their consent, especially when you don't give the callers access to the calls and the call recordings, and also it's a violation of your rights as an employee. You're recording your calls all the time without your consent. And so you involve the person you're talking to.
Yeah, that's a California thing. Here in Arizona, if one person knows it's being recorded, you can record it. Now, California, I think all people have to know or something, right?
Well, I just say this happens calling other states as well.
Oh, yeah. All right, more.
And like I
More
said,
Star
this
Child
office
when we come back. Just a little bit.
Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the idea.
Yeah, the music is going. You can yak all you want. After the button gets pushed, it don't matter.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. Nobody heard it, okay? So
Yeah, I just don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out the balance. Like, okay, what do I want to say now and what do I want to make?
Well, no, it's 30 seconds. Once the music starts, 30 seconds, boom, then it shuts off. So usually I tell people when the music starts and I come in and start yakking, I'm wrapping it up on the time, and anything you say is just be a pain. But anyway, so
I couldn't really hear the music till the end there.
Oh, I'll crank that bad boy up. All right. So this is, I bring it down, to kind of finish your thought, but once you hear it, kind of wrap it up in, 5-10 seconds, something. When we come back, where we really left off before I go inject, because we got 2 hours, man. I got Phil, we're going to take our time. But
there's some local stuff to talk about, besides like I told Donna, there wasn't really that much news from the meeting.
No. There's a bunch of other good stuff I want to know. I mean, think about this. You're there and you see that they got this campus, that's part of a larger campus, that it's free, that it offers. I got questions like what kind of classes do they have? What's the impact on the community that they have? How is it funded? Where's that come from? How much do they get from Silicon Valley? They're pulling people out of there, pushing people in there. The professors linked in with what? Is it an activist thing? Is it brain damage thing?
All that stuff.
Well, and when you just say this, we'll find out later.
Funded.
Okay, and then the classes that you're taking and why, and then the student council thing, and that fact that it has a budget. What shall Star Child do with that? So I'm we got plenty a little bit more to talk about here on this side.
I want to put that out to your readers to actually have ideas. So I'm trying to think if I do get in there, you're like, how to redirect this money back to the public that had to pay it, and I've got an idea on that, but anyway.
Yeah, so it's an educational thing. It's a Star Child thing, and the thing is that in San Francisco, being a sex worker and libertarian and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, how much do they want to bug you? You know what I mean? It's like they start getting on you, all of a sudden, boom, you got 15 gazillion communities of we say this about that. And I'm wondering who it would be that you would be up against. Because, are they going to say,
you mean me personally?
Don't elect Star Child, he's not woke enough.
There's no low-hanging fruit up here when it comes to political offices. I have, I tell people basically no realistic chance of getting elected. I'd have to play their whole game in order to have a shot at actual elective office.
You mean for student council?
Oh, no, I'm talking about public office.
I know.
I might have a shot at it.
Yeah, that's where you start, man.
They want people to do this. I'm not sure they'll even have enough. You know what I mean? So hopefully get on. We'll see.
Yeah, all you got to do to get elected student body president is go to the bathroom or something and come back. They go, hey, it's like libertarian stuff. You just got elected. All right, that's what we're going to do. We'll finish up on that in this segment. But this is, I want to get some little details, background. I know you're going to have some fun. All right, here we go. Hold on.
Hosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agris Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agrishosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agrishosting.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
Star Child in San Francisco, having some fun, sharing it with us. And Star Child's real name is, I forgot, don't care, doesn't matter. I guess that is your real name. Did you change your name?
I did, and I have a couple other names I use as well.
Yeah,
Chris Fox,
what?
My companion name.
What's the other name?
Chris Fox is my companion name. If those have seen Firefly, the excellent sci-fi Western TV show. There's a sex worker character in that. She is a companion.
Really? Okay.
So
All right.
My drag name now is Sybil Unrest.
Ah! Yeah, because you can. You can do whatever the hell you want. All
Right.
So our child to do whatever you want, guy. Now, real quick questions to finish up on the city college thing, because you're gonna be taking class there. You're gonna go through the process. Are you gonna get your email account like you're supposed to, or are you able to bypass that?
No, in fact, there's a woman in the audience who showed up later. Like I said, by the time I got done with this meeting, there's maybe 2-3 dozen people there who. She used to work in the IT department. She kind of addressed some of the issues about Google. That was sort of a long, rambling explanation of how they did it. So it made it sound a little less sinister, and apparently you don't have to, use Google and get one of these accounts, but they kind of make it sound like you do when they send you this email.
Yeah.
And so that was my concerns. I saw the questions about that, but that might not be quite as bad as it appeared at first blush.
No, it's as bad. It's just that it doesn't stand up to scrutiny. But what they can do is they go, you know what? We're going to, like you say, make them seem like they have to. Make it part of the application process. We are talking about 18-year-olds and not experienced libertarian activists like Starchild, okay? So these people just automatically go, look, we got 86.7% of the applicants who go, woohoo! Let's make it 89%. Okay, we'll say this and do that. It's to get the numbers in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what my suspicion is that they just sort of, they call it nudging people towards
nudge. Yeah, nudge. That's the word. Freaking
right.
All right. So they didn't nudge you enough, so you can get in there. You don't have to get a Google linked account to get communications from and whatever, right?
Well, we will see. The jury's still a little bit out on that one. I want to. They promised to get back to me. Nobody has yet from either Lucy or from the.
No. Follow this through. This is good. Yeah, they didn't like you bring that. Okay, so you go through this, they kind of, yada, yada, yada. Now, the student council thing, the actual campus that you're at, they got like a budget sitting there of, I don't know, thousands of dollars, and nobody to spend it because nobody cares.
Right. Well, apparently they got $5,000 sitting in the bank. These are the numbers that were kind of tossed around in the meeting. And like a lot of the information they had, they seemed a bit fuzzy on a lot of these things. Like it was kind of hard to pin down some of the exact answers to these questions, but the basic picture I got was there's $5,000 in the bank, and then there's a $3,000 to $4,000 annual budget for this student council. It's usually 4 people, like just president, VP, secretary, treasurer, and in addition, the president and vice president have often gotten stipends, like ranging up to $1,000 a semester.
You could get paid.
Right, paid.
Of course, let me go to the bathroom so I can get elected. I come back. Give me my money. San Francisco, California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they mentioned some of the things that the student council has done in the past. They've thrown like end of semester parties for the students. They've had recycling programs.
Oh my God! They would put Starchild.
This is like high level stuff, right? Well, I'm thinking, okay. How about having an end of semester like community appreciation party where we actually throw a party for the taxpayers that pay for this school, invite them to come and give us their feedback.
So you're just a troublemaker.
That's my idea for maybe how to. I'd like to just take the budget and divide it up into a bunch of checks of large enough size to make it worth people's while, but small enough so you can get the money to a lot of different people, like maybe $30, $50, $60 or something per person.
Yeah, but just the processing is so much. Give it in crypto. Do crypto. We're converting. Come to the party, get your crypto wallet, and we'll give you 37.5 cents that you contributed to the whatever. Blah blah blah.
Well, this is kind of what I wanted to do when running for public office one time. Also, I was trying to think of how could you actually turn around and what could I promise to do? And there's some legal issues with just turning around and giving money directly to the public like that. I think, but. There might be a way to do it. If nothing else, you just sort of throw a big party and invite them to come and give feedback about the school and something like that.
Yeah, give the community
from your listeners, if anybody listening out there has any good ideas of, say you do get elected or appointed or whatever to some government position or some kind of taxpayer-funded position where you've got a budget, what's the best way to go about giving that money back to people from whom it was stolen? That's what I'm really kind of looking at here. But, I'm not going to present it exactly like that either, because the people in the college aren't going to share that perspective, and probably other people who get elected as student council aren't necessarily going to share that perspective either. So you maybe frame it in terms of a party for the community or something. I don't know, but
it'd be interesting to see how this goes with your thought process on all this stuff that it just kind of bypasses and eases through people. You got faculty and industry back there going, yeah, how are we going to take advantage of these guys because they're young and dumb, don't know any better, and somebody that knows, and kind of just to bring this up. Now, we went through this at the University of Arizona here, Terry Bressi, that does Checkpoint USA. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Well, that guy works out of the university there for Star Watch or Space Watch or whatever it is to look for near-Earth bodies, the meteors and asteroids that come in to kill us, an extinction of that guy. He's the guy that does that, looking kind of, I'm going to leave the boy alone, save me. Well, what happens is that he goes through the checkpoint, the Tohono O'odham Native American Reservation between Tucson and Kitt Peak. He's constantly going through there. So a couple times a week, he's like, nope, am I being detained? And he has his cameras there.
You're talking about the jackbooted warrior song. I think he told me a little bit about this last time.
Well, he went to the Ninth Circuit and won $250,000. They gave, so he gave like these little camera things for people as a pride, whatever. Anyway, so the thing is that when he was a student, they were doing the same kind of thing in the late 90s, early 2000s or something, to where during that application process that you get, one of those letters was credit cards. That they, and they made it sound like part of your student ID was to be able, you had to fill this out, and they gave you a credit card as part of your ID or some crap like that. And he goes, whoa, what the hell is going on? So he started challenging it and going back and how much access they had to, they were, whatever. They were getting more information on this application that wasn't just going to the credit card place, because to get your credit card, that was the incentive for you to give them your data. And so then it got marketed out there, and he called BS on this, and they just, they didn't like it too much because he had access to the student email network. And when he did, he put it out on the bulletin boards and so on. The student rise up, MasterCard wasn't too happy, and the school wasn't happy, and the CIA wasn't happy, or whatever the hell. So this is, I've been through this before, and you doing this and highlighting what they're doing and how, they're always going to do this. And if they pull back at one place for a year, they'll be back later. So you mapping out this thing and this private company doing this, you should talk to Terry. He's a good libertarian. He tell you what's up. So things to where to go and look.
Put him in touch. I think my guess is right now the people, at least at that meeting, probably have me tagged as a liberal anyway, because they're complaining about Google and Elysian private companies and stuff. And Google is, like you said, of course, local to the area. They're down in Mountain View, which is south of San Francisco, an hour and a half drive down the peninsula. But they're not super popular here. A lot of the tech companies are not popular. Google has actually had people protesting. They've got these buses coming up to San Francisco to transport Google employees to work, and people have blockaded these buses, complaining they're causing traffic.
So they're not popular on campus. Wait a minute. Can you hear that? All right, we'll be right back with Star Child in just a little bit. We're talking about a lot of things. We got other stuff. We want to clear that off the plate, and we'll get into some of the other good going into.
The overall picture in the real estate market today is one of frustration when you take many factors into consideration. The housing market pundits would have you believe that everything is okay, but the long-term trending on the real estate numbers say otherwise. You are starting to see another wave of commercial and retail center vacancies, which follows a downturn in the residential market. So when you are ready to sell your house, I can help. This is Donna Hancock with Silver Alliance Realty in Phoenix, Arizona, and I can take some of the guesswork out of the home selling process, providing you with market trends in your area and detailing what you can expect before, during, and after the transaction. Being in the real estate business for almost 20 years now has afforded me knowledge of the market, networking with industry specialists along the way, And that includes professionals that can help after the sale to help protect your assets. So let's get moving today. Please feel free to call or message me at 602-828-1819. That's 602-828-1819. Or visit my webpage at donnahancock.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they...
Okay, I'm right now doing the email to Terry and you. You'll just have a joint email, and you guys can yak it. And I'm just going to Star Child. I just showed today that highlighted.
Terry's the guy you were talking about who won this $250,000 judgment against.
Years ago. Yeah, he's the checkpointusa.org, I think. You know, it's Checkpoint USA. All this you hear about, am I being detained? Am I being detained? He's the guy that started all that. And it was December of 2002 that they first did this. They had all the alphabet soup of everybody, and he wouldn't play, so they handcuffed him, put him on the side of the road for 4 or 5 hours, and he watched the whole thing as it went, went down. So you got every alphabet soup, Border Patrol and Homeland of ICE and this and that and whatever, and he knew it was illegal as hell. He goes, this is not legal, blah, 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 blah. So he challenged it. They ticketed, they dropped this charge and that charge, and then went and confronted the Ninth Circuit. So the Ninth Circuit finally goes, yep, you win, $250,000. And he's like, and that covered maybe, some of his costs. Of course, the union of the Border Patrol, they got a union now, and they were trying to get him fired from the University of Arizona. And the only thing that saved him is because of his activism previously as a student on this stuff, exactly what you're talking about. They knew he would sue him. They knew he knew what he was talking about. They knew he was right. And they're like, look, we're not going to, discipline them. We're not going to play butt. You can't use University of Arizona pickups anymore. Get your own damn pickup. And he just pimped it out with 5 cameras. And every time he goes through there, they do this. He goes, am I being detained? Am I being detained? Go. So they just let him through. Every now and then they get a new guy that's like, oh, I get some. I'm the jackbooted thug you've been hearing about. They go through, and then they go through their crap. They let him go. They'll arrest him down the road. They do whatever it is. And they go to court and they do it all over again. So after a while, they're just like, who's the moron that messed with Terry? That kind of thing. Because it's just a regular thing. Of course they know who he is. They just want to get compliance because they've got this jackbooted thug mentality.
There's a bunch of videos like that of people doing that now.
Oh, yeah, he has hundreds. Roger Ver is saying he's watched all 600 videos or some BS like that. Some ridiculous amount. So you guys, but his start in all this was as a student doing exactly what you're doing. And it was, so I want you guys to talk with each other. So I'm going to finish sending that out. All right, we're coming back in 10 seconds.
Continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
All right, we're right back. I'm sitting here writing an email of, to Terry for Star Child. Get these guys together in a minute. Who's under this? Boom. Peace, Ernie. And send, done. New activism starts right there. The special superpower of Captain Mark is he knows a guy. Okay, so we're going to get that taken care of. Now let's start talking about some other good days that you're working on. The what is the 2020 election cycle? I mean, you always got some kind of, something planned, and you're thinking of doing something either in the party at, in Austin, Texas at the National Convention, or you got a special candidate, or you got a local race that you're doing, or some, you want something to stick in the mind of. What's got your attention now, Star Child?
Sure. Well, like you said, there's always a bunch of different issues. Nationally, I'm backing the guy that some of your listeners may have heard of, especially if you're following Libertarian Party presidential stuff lately. Or you might have even heard of him years ago before he was ever connected to LP. And his name is Vermin Supreme. V-E-R-M-I-N, last name Supreme, like the Supremes with the singer, it's based on that. But anyway, he's a performance artist. He's kind of a lefty anarchist and very funny. He's got a YouTube video with over 5 million views from debates in the Democratic primary in New Hampshire when he was running in 2011. That'll give you a good sample of some of his satire. He talks about free ponies for every American and having a zombie-powered energy, have build giant turbines and dangle brains in front of the zombies, and they'd walk after the brains and turn the turbines and generate energy, and reduce dependence on foreign oil, and then also having a mandatory toothbrushing law, strong teeth for a strong America. Anyway, it's a lot of satire of the kind of promises that political candidates typically make.
No, I got his picture up with his boot on. I got a video of that New Hampshire political thing. He is really smart. He's nice. He's just making fun of the whole freaking thing. And and rarely, the only time he had ever broken character, just sit and talk with me, was at Pork Fest this last year in June. You know, he and I was talking about after it's all we're getting ready to go and everything, and just sat down at the park bench, and he didn't even have his boot on. So he, just tell me what's up. And like you say, he's a performance artist that gets attention and brings up stuff that needs to be brought up nobody else brings up.
Yeah, and he is, when I first heard about him, I thought it was great, just what we need. When I heard he was, interested in running for the Libertarian nomination, I was thinking he's another kind of joke candidate like this guy, and I think it's Minnesota, a band called D's Nuts, who was just basically having some fun with it without really having a, deeper, more profound satirical message or anything. I met Vermin at the 2016 National LP Convention, and they had this big Comic-Con, or not comic, but it was like a cosplay thing going on next door with people dressed up in outfits and stuff, and they had a whole bunch of their own people doing stuff over there, and I was trying to help Vermin get into the debate. You had to collect a certain number of tokens to be a part of the presidential debate, which we didn't unfortunately get. And I heard he'd gone next door, and he came back, and I was talking to him, and he's like, I'm over there telling people, the libertarians don't like free ponies and blah, blah, blah. I think it was great. Now he's like, so he didn't get into our debate, now he's over like bad-mouthing the party. But then I realized, no, he's actually, this is like part of the shtick, and he's actually telling it just like it is. Like, we don't like free ponies. We don't like handouts at taxpayer expense based on aggression and so forth. It's exactly right, And, I'm just thinking, we've tried for the past 40 years or so to run candidates who are earnest and sincere and have very serious messages about the aggression and the evils of big government and all the stuff that's going on. Maybe we could try something a little different, especially in the wake of Donald Trump getting elected. That kind of proves like anything can happen, right?
Right.
And somebody who's out there and good at getting publicity and good at attracting attention, and he's funny and he's interesting.
No, because it's great. It was good to have like Darryl Perry and William Cawley, all these guys running as anarchists. And a lot of people, you don't want them in there, and then they'll think like we have anarchists. And I'm going, well, good. And it was there was a lot of support for what they had to say. Now, of course, the tradition prevailed. But I want to go ahead. This is like a 5-minute part in here, and he's given his his opening presentation, and then it looks like there is a question from a reporter or the audience in the debate, the forum here. So let's go ahead.
Play a little Vermin
I want to just I don't even know what. All right, here it is. There's a guy asking a question. So let's go ahead and put this up and just kind of. I have no idea what's going on. We're 2 minutes and 25 seconds into a 5-minute and 12-second whatever. But we'll go ahead and just get just a taste of Vermin Supreme. Here we go.
All right.
Like some of the other candidates, including former Governor Romney, this is not your, shall we say, first rodeo.
Let us say that.
This is not the first time you have run for president in the
Correct.
New Hampshire primary. And President Romney has been accused, and I'm not taking a position one way or the other, of taking different positions on different issues. I'm asking you right now, do you still stand by your pledge made in 2008 to provide a pony for every American?
Yes, I do, sir. Free ponies for all Americans, one of the overlooked issues in America today. My free pony platform is, of course, a jobs creation program. It will create lots and lots of jobs once we switch over to a pony-based economy. We'll also lower our dependence on foreign oil. We'll also be able to turn all that pony poop into methane gas and wonderful compost, so we'll be able to up our soil that is being depleted by agrochemicals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, of course, the important thing to realize is that it is a federal pony identification program where you will need your pony with you at all times. Thank you very much.
Mr. Supreme, I wanted to follow up on Ambassador Shoemaker's question.
Yes.
Regarding the ponies.
Yes.
Oh my God, he's getting them to talk about ponies. This is amazing. Okay. Okay. Let me start in the beginning. I guess he had an opening statement. Let's just do a little bit of that.
Thank you.
The opening statement
has been eroding the gum line of this great nation long enough and must be stopped. For too long, this country has been suffering a great moral and oral decay in spirit and in sizers. A country's future depends on its ability to bite back. We can no longer be a nation indentured. Our very salvation is at stake. Together, we must brace ourselves. As we cross over to the bridge work, into the 23rd century, let us bite the bullet, and together make America a sea of shining smiles from sea to shiny sea. Now, friends, some people will tell you that this mandatory toothbrushing law is about the secret dental police kicking down your door at 3 a.m. to make sure you've brushed. Friends, it is not. Some will mention the dental re-education centers or the preventive dental maintenance detention facilities. It's about none of these.
Okay. I can see, where this goes, but this is what he does. He's just like the absurdity, because everything he's saying is just a different version of the same crap that they do.
Right, exactly.
Okay, no, I definitely included whether I want him. This would be awesome if he had, Vermin Supreme with his rubber boot on his head on the debate stage with the other guy. He'd be the one to be reasonable, So
yeah.
I get it.
One of my lines that came up for him is, might just take a guy wearing a boot on his head to get the government's boot off our neck. But we're blessed this cycle in the LP with some pretty good candidates. I mean, if it wasn't for Vermin Supreme, I would be supporting Adam Kokesh, who is another fantastic activist. He's very good at getting publicity. He's former Marine Iraq War veteran. Is kind of how he came.
Yeah, no, he was just on the show Monday. He's here. He has a mechanic. He had his RV engine go down. His mechanic got here yesterday. He's been staying here a couple of days, and they finally found an engine. I don't even know if he got it. He left. I went to bed. He went last night to get it on his truck, and he's heading up today, pick up Adam, go to Albuquerque, and they're replacing the engine on his RV and hit the road again. And I'm all right. And
hear your music coming up again.
Yeah, this one's a minute. Okay. This is the question I got. You got time to answer it, all right? Okay. I just need to know. Now, Vermin Supreme's boot, is it a left boot or a right boot?
Well, does it matter which government boot it is?
I know. I'm just wondering. Interchangeable. It's got decoration.
Yeah, I think he may have answered that question before. I don't remember the answer. He might actually have a couple extra spare boots.
Yeah, no. There's different ones. They keep getting better sometimes. He
told me he's gone through at least half a dozen megaphones. He's been an activist for quite a while.
Now, Vermin Supreme, and add to the mix. You need clowns? All right, you elect them. We got boots.
Signed up for one of these
Okay, we come back at 6 after. I'm going to take a break real quick, but we'll be back at 6 after, and we'll just, go on to some other issues and make a list of stuff that you want to make sure we get in or we won't.
Yeah, I don't have, anything burning on the agenda today to talk about.
All right, well, make
I got host of newspaper clippings and things here. We could talk about stuff.
I got freaking Phoenix headlines. I could go all freaking day, man. I got
sure.
I mean, all I got to do is, what does Shelley talk about? Well, let's go check. We might do that. We can do a, what do they call them? A Rorschach test. I read the headline, and what do you see here? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Okay. Remember the Florida parents whose son was abducted by the state after refusing chemo treatments? And it goes on from there. I mean, so...
Yeah.
So we got plenty to talk about. All right, we'll be right back. 6 after, just make sure you're there, okay?
Oh, is that... Okay, 6.
Yeah, 6 after. Here we go. All right, see you in a little bit.
To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit Promote,
which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Declare your independence with Ernest Hancock continues after the news, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,498. Silver at $18.06. And Bitcoin is trading around $10,368. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, 18 years after the terrible events of September 11, 2001. And the FBI has agreed to provide a key piece of new information about alleged official Saudi involvement, following intense efforts by the victims' families. The Mind Unleashed reports that while the alleged mastermind of the September 11th attacks, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, remains at Guantanamo Bay, he opened the door in July to helping victims of the attacks in their lawsuit against Saudi Arabia, if the U.S. government spares him the death penalty. And as the Wall Street Journal reports, victims' families have urged the government to make more information public, telling President Trump in a letter recently that it would help them, quote, finally learn the full truth and obtain justice from Saudi Arabia, end quote. The families had sought an unredacted copy of a 4-page 2012 summary of an FBI inquiry into 3 people who may have assisted 2 of the hijackers in California in finding housing, obtaining driver's licenses, and other matters. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Johns Hopkins University recently announced the opening of the Center for Psychedelic and Consciousness Research, a facility within Johns Hopkins Medicine that will be dedicated to studying psychedelics and their potential to be used medicinally. This research center is the first of its kind in the United States, and the largest of its kind in the entire world. The Mind Unleashed reports the unprecedented research effort is being made possible thanks to $17 million in donations from private investors. Although it's important to note that half of the donations were gathered by one person, best-selling author and podcaster Tim Ferriss, who also donated $2 million of his own money, in addition to organizing half of the outside investments. Ferriss was also one of the key investors behind a similar center at Imperial College in London, which was said to be the first of its kind in the world when it opened. Researchers at the new Johns Hopkins facility will be studying psychedelic substances and their effect on the human brain. The trade war has so far killed off about 300,000 jobs and cost Americans about $1.6 billion in tariffs. The taxes are driving up prices and businesses are cutting workers to make ends meet in the face of rising costs. Activist Post reports that there will be no winner in the trade war, and already the United States looks a lot like the loser. Casualties are coming in the form of farm bankruptcies and lost jobs, not to mention the rising cost of goods, further harming those already living paycheck to paycheck. The fact is the trade war is causing measurable damage to the U.S. economy, with the pain likely to worsen in the coming months. According to Yahoo News, forecasting firm Moody's Analytics estimates that Trump's trade war with China has already reduced U.S. employment by 300,000 jobs, compared with likely employment levels absent the trade war. Coupled with the fact that in July alone, U.S. importers paid a record $6.8 billion in tariffs. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snos.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNOS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snos.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Well, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one.
Today, Pennington's black part of town moved across the river to North Pennington. The Thompson family sold their home on the east side and moved to the old Kirkland Place at 17 Mansfield Place, establishing the all-new black neighborhood. Northside residents are looking forward to the infusion of fun and funk that the new black part of town is sure to bring to their area. Mayor Mitzi Kranowitz presided over the dedication of the new black neighborhood, unveiling a sign designating it a landmark district.
It's lovely, everyone. Pennington's diversity is its strength, whether it's Little Harlem or the so-called Gayborhood, where Paul and his partner Bryant have that cottage.
Sheriff Stevens today announced that the heavy round-the-clock patrols that helped make the old Thompson house one of the safest neighborhoods in town will move with them.
This has nothing to do with the black part of town moving here. We just want to make sure that everyone here has a comfortable place to live.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yep. Undefeated here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, in Phoenix, Arizona, from the beautiful studios of FreedomsPhoenix.com. Star Child's on with us. We're just yakking it today. We're going to go over the headlines a little bit. And there's some other stories that, just stuff you might want to, say a little something, what's up.
Hey, Ernie, by the way, during the break, one of the stories that was mentioned was referencing Guantanamo Bay, and I just wanted to share something with your listeners.
Please.
I just heard about that, which I thought was pretty interesting, revealing. Apparently it's costing $60 million a year to keep that facility open, and that's not even counting a lot of the areas of expense, like defense attorneys and so forth. But they also have, apparently, 1,800 guards to watch 40 prisoners.
Damn.
Now, does that sound like a good ratio? Could use some money there?
Well,
overkill on the security area.
Yeah, but do they really show up? I mean, it's somebody's, fictitious people of money just goes through to somebody, or it's somebody's girlfriend's ex-roommate that knows the general's daughter or something. I mean, God knows what these positions are for. Do you really think they're sitting there, 14 around every prisoner or so. I don't know. I have no idea.
No, they got a separate facility. I mean, Guantanamo Bay is it's actually on the island of Cuba.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of people know, but maybe some don't. The U.S. government basically took this land from Cuba a long time ago and never gave it back, and so they use it because it's extraterritorial, which means they don't have to. They claim they don't have to follow the Constitution. And
Constitution was never about anything other than the defense of individual rights. It's not even whether you're a citizen or not. They're trying to make that. In 2003, when I first started doing radio, and we're right before invasion of Iraq, after they got that James Walker Lind or something, the kid.
Yeah,
that went,
Johnny Walker Lind.
Yeah.
In the Bay Area, by the way.
Oh, really? Well, he went.
Yeah.
He became Muslim. He went to fight for the Taliban and the men, rule, and my religion says, and I'll be willing to kill for it. So he goes over there before we declared not war or something, whatever the hell we were doing. Going over there, you get a U.S. citizen. What do you do with them? Well, now to try and prevent these nasty little human rights for anyone, America is not about being a citizen. Well, they made the argument that if they can make you an enemy combatant, if you can be an enemy combatant, then you are stripped of your citizenship, and then they can do some extra stuff to you. And I'm going, whoa. That was never the American ideal. You're here in our courts. You're equal under the law as a human being, not a citizen. But they wanted to equate the two, and I could see the psyop that they were doing, and I'm screaming about it ever since. Yeah. And this is how they get to that: make an enemy combatant, you don't get rights.
This is part of that whole issue of nationalism, which we kind of touched on last time in relation to freedom of movement, because a lot of the anti-immigrant stuff is part of this. Religion. It's really like a religion. At the very least, it's a strong ideology of nationalism, which says your rights are not dependent upon you being an individual human being with inherent rights, but your rights are dependent on whatever the government that claims jurisdiction over the part of the Earth's surface that you happen to live on decides that they want to give you or allow you to have.
Yeah, this is where it goes. This is, you can see it coming.
For them to extort money from people and divide people on the basis of where they were born and who their parents were and all this kind of stuff.
I saw a meme. Where was it yesterday? Maybe I can find it. But the meme basically was this. The point that they were making was you're not responsible for the sins of your father. They go, well, this is not, as an immigrant, I'm not responsible for... I was born here. I'm not responsible for this or that. But, then when it comes to other issues, you are. It consists of hypocrisy of. Let me find that. I want to find that. I think I. Yeah.
This is one reason I refer to it as a religion. And there's some other things like the climate change issue, which is called global warming. Now they like the term climate change because they can hedge their bets if it starts getting cooler. And the whole sort of PC politically correct stuff about race and gender and so forth. It's just it's the old Christian doctrine of original sin recast in a different packaging. You're guilty not because of anything that you personally did, but because of some circumstances of your birth you had no control over. You're born Caucasian ancestry, or you're born a man, or you're born in El Salvador instead of the United States, or this kind of thing. Well, tough luck. We're going to treat you as a second-class person. And so it's just I feel there's something in the human psyche, whether it's socialized or biologically inherited or some combination that really finds itself susceptible to this idea of original sin or built.
Okay,
I just say to people really quick. I just tell you, I'm not taking any blame or any credit for anything that anybody else does that I have no control over, especially if they did before I was even born. Right?
All right, here it is. This is the quote. This is what it says. I remember a friend of mine sent me a bunch of stuff, and it says, Democrats claim DACA kids, so this is a dream thing, kids that came with their parents kind of deal. Democrats claim DACA kids shouldn't have to pay for their parents' crimes, but white people are still responsible for 17th century slave owners. So the point, of course, is the hypocrisy of, you're white, you got white privilege, you should be punished for the crimes or the enslavement, centuries ago of whatever. But, we argue that you're not responsible for your ancestors, even your parents' crimes for bringing you here. So it's just an inconsistency, and that kind of stuck in my head. It's hypocrisy everywhere. So would you, I know that kind of hits close to home with you, this nationalism thing, but what do you think of that? They'll say, look, man, these kids don't have any crime, but at the same time, these same people are going, yeah, but you're white and you should be held responsible for what your great-grandparents did.
Well, I tend to agree it's hypocrisy, and I don't, I don't have a lot of truck with the whole, I mean, first of all, like white and black, these like artificial categories to begin with. It's kind of like calling somebody an American, it's not, I mean, in reality, human skin and origins come in all different shades and varieties, and you go back far enough, like just about everybody is descended from, that's alive today is descended from, the people that
some
were,
bad guy
alive 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. Just mathematically, it's all interconnected in there. And so to say, like, well, my ancestors did this and this, I should take either credit or blame for what they did, is just kind of specious. And these are just, the races are just like convenient.
Well, you got a lot of people coming out apologizing and saying they're ashamed for being white and all this other stuff. And I'm going, show me I don't know what the hell white means anyway, but it's just, there's a sickness here. And why would you think that they would apologize for how the race they were born? What's the psychological aspect of that you see?
Well, it's part of this whole thing. It gets called political correctness, or some people call it cultural Marxism. It's not really that related to Marxism, I don't think, but it's the idea that's it's pretty popular on the left, and it really
it's popular, but why?
In academia. Well, why is it?
Yeah, well, what psychological thing do we give a crap if somebody said that? Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. I'm white. Where does that come from? Why?
Well, I think one of the things is legitimate, which is that there has been a huge amount.
All right, we'll talk about it when we come back.
Race
is characterized by voluntary interactions. Unfortunately, the Crown presses everyone into involuntary servitude. Landlubbers believe slavery was abolished years ago, but the Crown still claims to own us when it crimps us into service against our will. Given sufficient ambition, it would gladly draft thousands of hapless victims to kill or be killed. It's simply slavery by another name. Landlubbers are routinely commanded to serve the so-called justice system in jury duty. But before you swell with civic pride, consider that how you feel is irrelevant to the Crown. You will appear as ordered or face punitive measures. The Crown insists that you participate in your own oppression. A jury summons provides pirates with a unique opportunity to obstruct injustices. A juror can vote not guilty, even if it's proven the law was violated. A juror can acquit for any reason at all, and not even a judge can reverse that verdict. Receiving a jury summons is basically winning the sedition lottery. But if you reveal that you know this during jury selection, you'll probably be dismissed. If the Crown foolishly crimps a pirate into jury duty, it behooves the pirate to conceal their intention to nullify unjust laws. If a master takes 100% of your labor, it's called slavery. But if they only take 50%, they call it taxation, a difference of degree, not of kind. Whether the Crown claims a fortune or a cent is irrelevant. Most of all, a slave owner desires contented slaves, meaning thoughtless ones that accept their bondage. These house slaves see no contradiction in being drafted in a war to end slavery or summoned to a jury to prosecute tax evasion. An ideal slave knows no higher call than the master's will. The Crown's highest ambition is that its slaves revere the authority that subjugates them. But the Crown does not own me. I will not surrender my time and treasure to the Crown's ambitions. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800.
Complaints about it, but then
602-264-2800. And now, Ernest Hancock.
And we're right back. This is one thing that I wanted to do. We just got a call from John Bush. He's going, oh, hello. He's going to come and stay probably right before Narcapoco, and he wants to come on and talk about, some other activism stuff going on, which I love to do. And this is the kind of stuff that we keep you up on, and I'm glad we get to have this conversation with Star Child, because he kind of like, a lot of us, predates a lot of the stuff that you see in the news. You'll go, man, where did that come from? It come from just pissing off one guy, one little thing of something, get to have his say, and then a bunch of other people go, yeah, I'm glad he did. Yeah, what he said. And then it just goes from there. Well, there's a lot of these issues, and I wanted to go through, we just do Freedom's Phoenix and just go through some of the headlines that I want to talk about. Is there anything that, cross your mind you want to make sure we get in, Star Child, now before we get into my stuff?
There's nothing essential. I mean, there's a lot of stuff locally here in SF I could talk about. We could certainly always talk more about the nationalism issue or politically correct issues we started to get into there, or just the potential for freedom around the world. This is sort of a hot button issue for me. I think libertarians often don't really think enough about the fact that this is a truly worldwide movement and trying to treat it as such. I think some people still, and this kind of gets to what I started to say before the last break there, about the fact that there really has been a lot of oppression on the basis of things like race, gender, sexual orientation. Now we're really seeing a backlash against that, and in some places the backlash has arguably gone too far, but there's still many other places in the world where there remains serious traditional oppression against people of different races by governments, by law. Again, I mean, it's being gay is subject to the death penalty, and I forget, I think like half a dozen countries or something. Many others have other severe criminal penalties against it. Women only just recently got the right to legally drive in Saudi Arabia, and there's still all kinds of
I just seen some stories to where women, as they're part of their activism, they're wearing Western dress and don't have the, I don't know, they got different names for their, Ku Klux Klan outfit, but they go in Western dress to the mall, and they go, ooh, I can see your ankles. I mean, so this is. And in Western dress, I mean conservative, just, pantsuit or dress, something, they're showing their face. And this is becoming a big deal. So as a American activist, what would be your role? What would you say or do? Or, I mean, it's not like you want government to go do something or ban something or be. I mean, what role do you think America or Americans, and give me the difference, should play in this?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that we can do as individuals. Certainly, if you go and travel to any of these places, you can just kind of be a personal example and talk to people on an individual level and introduce them to some new ideas, perhaps some new ways of thinking that they may not have considered. Without traveling, there's choices that we make about how to spend our money. In some cases, can have impacts on people overseas. There's something I'm trying to get together, thinking about doing here locally, is just having a meetup group or forum for people who are supporting either independence or greater autonomy movements in different places around the world, or fighting for freedom in these different countries. There's dozens, literally. I'm actually compiling a list of groups, and there's some in this country seeking independence for places like Hawaii and Alaska, who are trying to get new countries recognized. And the United Nations is basically this very narrow club of the existing governments, and they're very reluctant to let any new members into that club. But there's dozens of different unrecognized states out there, or groups of people that don't have their own jurisdictions where they feel represented. The Kurds and the Palestinians are a couple of larger ones. Taiwan, if you count Taiwan, Taiwan is legally recognized by, I think, something like a dozen countries, but that number's been shrinking because the Beijing government in China, the regime, I should say, has been very much cranking up the pressure on governments around the world to try to get them to withdraw recognition from Taiwan and to say, oh, that's a part of our country, it's all part of China, and we get to rule it.
Yeah, backed up by this here gun. Yeah.
Right. I'd say, well, if it is one country, part of China, then the Beijing government should, disband and have the whole thing ruled by the Taiwanese government, which is at least elected, unlike the communists in name only in Beijing, who are really now bereft of any ideology. They're just there to maintain their money and power. I mean, there's probably more inequality in China today than there is in the United States, even though they're nominally still.
Yeah, this Hong Kong thing. What do you're in San Francisco. That's kind of a lot of Chinese, maybe students, and you're close to Hong Kong. I'm just what's the support for the activists there?
I've actually been putting out feelers recently. I haven't found connected yet with any people who are really activists for Hong Kong here, but I just recently, there's a controversy over, there was a woman named Rose Pack who died a couple of years ago here, and she started out as a columnist for the San Francisco Chronicle, and she kind of made herself into a lobbyist and sort of high-powered mover and fixer, who's sort of liaison between City Hall and the Chinese American community here. And she went and she lobbied in D.C. and got money for different projects and stuff. And so they want to name this new subway station after her, like the powers that be. And a lot of people in the Chinese American community are not happy about this. They see her as somebody who was close to the Beijing regime. She had a lot of run-ins with Falun Gong. I don't know how many of your listeners may have heard of Falun Gong, but it's spelled Falun space Gong. Also sometimes called Falun Dafa, Gafa. It's basically kind of a spiritual movement combining sort of healthy living, mind, body exercises, this kind of thing. But back in the late 90s, I believe 1998, there was a big crackdown on this in China because a bunch of Falun Gong practitioners got together and they had a big, just not even a demonstration, it was just sort of a peaceful mass gathering of people standing doing these kind of Tai Chi type exercises in front of some Communist Party offices in Beijing. And the authorities were like, whoa, where did all these people come from? This is scary. We've got to clamp down on this. We don't want, anybody coming with this kind of ability to generate mass demonstrations like this.
Yeah, flash mobs. They had a big
rule
against flash mobs.
Right. Well, anything that they perceive as a threat to their power, which I think this was, and I think actually whoever sort of came up with this kind of brilliant. It's like this is like a totally peaceful, apolitical thing. It's sort of hard for the authorities to legitimately come down on it, but it's just like a way of getting people sort of together in solidarity around something. And apparently millions and millions of people in China are Falun Gong practitioners. And so, they had a heavy crackdown under the faction that eventually lost out to Xi, or Xi, who's in power now, under Jiang Zemin. They really cracked down on Falun Gong, and that's when they started this organ harvesting, which is, I think, one of the most serious and just absolutely outrageous, reprehensible human rights crimes that's gone on in the world in recent decades. It's been the Chinese regime's basically
Society Declaration, and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty.
When the music starts, 30 seconds and done. I make sure you hear it, and you just keep going on, and it don't matter. Nobody's going to hear it.
Okay. I guess I know you're going to jump and say something. I'm not exactly sure how much time I got. It's hard to tell. Okay.
Yeah. Sentence. Finish the
so
sentence.
Where do you think I got cut off? Where should I start in again?
No, right where I did that. You know, when they went to commercial, I just went ahead and blazed you out because it doesn't matter.
Okay. Did you know the last thing I said there that came through, you think?
Nope, don't care, don't remember. You know, but I think when we come back, what I'll do is I'll do the summary of the, what did you call it, Falun Gong or something? What is it called?
Falun Gong.
Falun Gong. Now, when I was in San Francisco, God, it was a long time ago. Anytime you go to San Francisco or West Coast or anything, there's always some Chinese guy handing out some pamphlet about what's going on in China with this movement. And they're cracking down on. And the reason is because they see it as a threat that somebody's getting some passion, organized, people come together, push a button, flash mob of hell no. And I go, yeah, why? What are they worried about? Hong Kong. That's what they're worried about. They don't want to have an infrastructure of somebody and they push a button, a bunch of people show up. They can't have that. Well, I don't know if they're worried about, they think Falun Gong did this or something, but they got a bunch of people in Hong Kong, and a lot of them probably, I don't even know what they're talking about. They're worried about this making it the Beijing, Shanghai. You know, if these guys...
Yeah, the Hong Kong thing is different. I'm not sure to what extent Falun Gong is...
It's not different in the fact there's a bunch of people. That's what they're worried about.
Well, yeah, totally. But I mean, the people in Hong Kong are pissed off and organizing around other issues.
Yeah, but you know they're done when they start going, Trump, save us. I'm like, whoa, well, you're screwed now.
Right. Well, Trump doesn't care about human rights. He's not going to do anything on that basis, I don't think.
Well, I don't think, do you think we should? See, one thing I found out is that it's called the Hong Kong Democracy Act, whatever the hell it was, and it was, I think, end of the 90s, early 2000s. It was after, what has happened by law, Congress funded an office in Hong Kong to support democracy movements. So when Hong Kong says, hey, the U.S. is getting involved in the damn Skippy, it's a freaking law. And you'll have these people from the administration sitting there talking to the dissidents of yada, yada, yada. I'm like, whoa. What the hell are we doing getting involved in this thing? This is so, I mean, as individuals, you can do what you want.
Wait, but Ernie, who's we?
Yeah, no, it's well, you're right. I mean, the government, as individuals, you can do what the hell you want. But, them taking my money to go fund and go and cause consternation of we're in a thermonuclear because, they wanted to.
For me, it's no more and no less illegitimate for the U.S. government or any government to take your money to put down riots in L.A. or something than to put down riots in Hong Kong or there's like this artificial distinction that people make. It's like, oh, well, the government can, have 1,800 guards or 40 prisoners and spend $60 million a year at Guantanamo, but gosh, if they start spending that money in Iraq, then, oh, man, I'm all pissed off about that. What are we doing helping those people? None of our business, blah, 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 It's just an artificial distinction as far as I'm concerned. It's everybody's a human being who has inherent unalienable rights, and, all the rest of the stuff with nationals and borders is just a bunch of mechanisms for government control.
All right, we're coming back. Let's talk about it. Here we go.
Account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
chair. She bright the face, talks about the people going
Oh, one more. All right, two more times. We got two more segments with Star Child from San Francisco. Lots to talk about. That's one thing we were talking about is San Francisco. Whenever you go to the West Coast, certainly San Francisco, there's always some Chinese guy on multiple courts. You can't go a couple blocks without somebody putting a track in your hand. You get a brochure, a thing, or whatever, this Falun Gong thing, and it was we're being persecuted by, and they're going after, and kind of and you go, why? What is it, a church thing? Or no, it's kind of like a flash mob. They just gather and do Tai Chi, which is where you see Chinese kind of doing their hands slow, movements, and a lot of old people are doing it. It's kind of like Chinese yoga, So but the mere fact that you can get a bunch of people together in one place at one time, that is the threat to these totalitarian, authoritarian, collective, we rule you. And you didn't get a permission slip to have a bunch of people get together. Where's your permit for gathering of whatever? Oh, and then you start seeing it coming to the United States of America. Same kind of thing.
It's not quite as widespread as every couple of blocks you can get a flyer here. But,
wherever I was, wherever I went, they were.
Well, you're probably doing the tourist thing and walking through Chinatown.
Yeah.
You will see people there. But anyway, I started out talking about this, just mentioning one of the current kind of political issues here.
Your volume is all over the place. I need you to kind of stick on your phone in a microphone or something, because
okay.
Damn.
How's it sound right now?
That's good. Just stick with
good.
one.
Okay. Sorry, I was probably had my mouth pointed away from the little mic on the phone. That's right here.
Well, keep it
anyway,
somewhere.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. So this woman, Rose Pack, the political lobbyist and fixer and so forth, who died a couple years ago, and they're trying to put her name on the new subway station they're building in Chinatown. There's usual government boondoggle, billions of dollars, et cetera. But yeah, she was really clashing with the Falun Gong people and repeatedly had connections to Beijing. And so a lot of people here in the Chinese American community don't want her name on this. So we've got one of these folks coming to our monthly Libertarian Party meeting tomorrow to talk about the issue. And there's also been some recent moves in the Chinese ethnic community here about right to self-defense. There's concerns about crime, and some Chinese are getting some press talking in favor of gun ownership, which is pretty unusual here for San Francisco. This is not a place where gun ownership is popular. They just, a few years ago, got rid of the last store in the city that sold guns, and the Cow Palace facility a few miles south of San Francisco that had gun shows there for a long time. They finally got state legislation to put a stop to that. So the last gun show is going to be next month. We're doing outreach there again, as we have in the past at a lot of these gun shows. But
okay, now there was a big effort to try and regulate out, zone out. You can't have explosives, the firing, the primers for the blah, 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 blah. They got gunpowder out there, and you can buy it out in the open. Oh, my goodness, you're still having gun shows in San Francisco?
It's not in San Francisco. The San Francisco politicians have been trying to put a stop to this for years, but it's complicated because the land that this facility is on is actually owned by the state, and so they've had to try to get it through at the state level to make them stop. And that's taken them a while to do it, but they finally did it and passed it. So unfortunately, like I said, the last gun show at the Cow Palace is going to be next month. That's in the county south of San Francisco is technically where it happens, but there's people from all over the Bay Area go to those things.
All right. And of course we have, we just got up on Freedom's Phoenix today, Mark J. Victor, attorneysforfreedom.com. They always, on, I think it's Saturday afternoon at 1, they always have a table out there, and they got a stage and a bunch of chairs, 30, 40 chairs, and it's a standing room. He gives a presentation on the gun thing and freedom. And so here in Arizona, Yeah, maybe a little bit different mindset, but that's from decades of us being buttheads, and you guys sure you want to play. So
yeah, well, it's a lot different out there, and in most places.
But it's a reason. There's a. I just want to slap people. Why do you think that happened? It was from activism of people articulating the real reasons for and against, and they start coming after. All right, you guys want to play? Let's play. Until they don't want to play anymore because it doesn't benefit them. Every time that you get the hair on the back of the neck of the gun community, they come out and they go, "Ooh, we're gonna have us a say and spend us some money and vote a certain way or run some candidates or what." That doesn't happen in California. Are those guys marginalized? Are they shot? I mean, what happens to the Second Amendment advocates there? They moved to Arizona?
It's just such an unpopular issue locally here in San Francisco that it's kind of like, it's. I mean, I won't say it's not a fight worth having because I think it's always the right time to advocate for the right thing, as Martin Luther King said. And I'll still talk about gun rights, but it's just like you're not making any progress here. Like, how much progress are you going to, make, having drag queen story time or something in Phoenix? I don't know. I mean, there's issues here where we're ahead. I mean, like San Francisco has an elected district attorney, for example, and we've got a very good candidate running right now that I'm supporting who's trying to end mass incarceration, get rid of money bail and stuff like that. He actually works for the public defender's office right now. But, so there's some issues where locally freedom is in pretty good shape here in San Francisco, but there's others like guns where, no, it's just so unpopular. There's no local elected officials who will talk in favor of it. It's not the fault of the activists that people aren't doing enough activism. It's just the community leans so much to the left politically. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, whose district I'm in, is a congressional leader, of course. She gets reelected typically with about 80% of the vote. Right, so that should tell you something.
Okay, what is the percent of the vote? I mean, 80. What'd you say?
About 80%, yeah, upper 70s, around 80%. Usually, she gets reelected, and she's been in since 1984. I believe it was the first year she got elected, 82 or 84. And since the very first time she ran for office, she has never debated her opponent. She just doesn't do it, and the media doesn't hold her accountable for it. They don't get all over and say, "Why aren't you debating your challengers?" She just doesn't debate them and just keeps getting reelected without a lot of fuss about it.
So what runs San Francisco? I mean, of course, it's. I see you with Milk. Milk was there was a movie played by Sean Penn of the where the gay activism kind of
very good movie, by the way. It's about Harvey Milk. Yeah, Sean Penn is a terrific actor. He really nails it, I think.
And it was activism and rising up and the collectivization of we come together in the gay community, but to what end? I mean, it's hell, it might as well be libertarian and freedom of, but that wasn't it. It's they take over the positions of and do whatever they, them, those want, and they become they, them, those. So the gay community is what? Freedom oriented? Would you say that?
On certain issues, they are. Facebook, for example, which we were talking about earlier in the context of all this information harvesting and sort of trying to do through City College, Facebook had to kind of back out a little bit in the face of basically a bunch of drag queens and gay performers and people who got upset about getting locked out of their accounts for not having standard type names. And they had a whole community meeting, a bunch of Facebook honchos showed up and were very, made conciliatory noises and stuff. The gay community, it's traditionally been on the left of Democrats, and it's traditionally been mostly focused on
microphone.
Yeah, mostly focused on civil liberties issues and stuff, but it's complicated. I mean, it is another.
No, it's not complicated. I tell you exactly what we see it in the Libertarian Party, anywhere else. Whenever you got a consolidation of power or privilege or opportunity or whatever, it gets infiltrated by they, them, those, and you got somebody. Hell, you need to be gay? Well, hell, I'm a lobbyist. I'm for hire, man. Bring somebody on. Star Child, come over here, man. I'll show you how gay I am. Make me in charge if I get to be whatever. You know I'm not kidding either. This is how it's done.
No, I haven't seen you make it out with any boys yet, Ernie, but maybe we can make that happen next time you're done.
Hey man, free the world! You never know.
Cell Phone 1 is a free app for Android.
I'm sorry. Hey, Donna, we're going to have a menage a free the world, with our menage a trois with Uncle Sam. Oh, yeah, we already had that. It was called our wedding. That's one thing. I wrote an article. It was called, God, what was it called? Something like My Menage a Trois with Uncle Sam or something like that. And it was about being married. You go, and we were married in Pennsylvania. We went through the whole Catholic Church thing, had to go through all, oh my God. And we get married there. That was important to her family. We come back to Arizona, and this most important civil contract you ever have in your entire life changed with a car drive, okay?
That changed with what?
A car drive. I drove from Pennsylvania to Arizona, and all of a sudden the contract's different because it's under Arizona law now. And I go, whoa, what's that? Then they came up with this thing called a covenant marriage, to where you give your social security number to the state and they convert your marriage, or you can get married under two different ways here. One's some kind of a marriage, and the other one's a covenant marriage, to where you can't get divorced unless you go through some state process of Christian, holy something.
I don't think they have that up here.
It was a big deal here, man. They went through, Ernie, aren't you going to convert to your covenant? I'm going, well, let me, check into it. I was interested with, Social Security number. Oh, okay. I don't think so. I think I'll decline. Okay. So you're immediately, they change the laws. They tell you what, you can and can't, how you're going to divvy up your goodies and, if you separate, and then the kids and all, and then they change it on the fly during the middle of your marriage. And I go, whoa, what the hell is it? This is a forced prima nocte with Uncle Sam. It's like a forced menage a trois, man. They're already wanting to get in your bed, on the first freaking honeymoon night. And
the covenant marriage part, it's just giving people another option. It's the taking a social security number part and all the bureaucracy. And I'm sure there's a fee that goes with it too. And
of course, but the point was,
pass up that opportunity to extort some more money, right?
Well, no, they got a condition. People
choose different kinds of marriages.
Well,
is fine.
What happens? What happens when you have your covenant marriage in Arizona and you move to Nevada? Then what? See, every time you move, it changes. That's my point. It changes to whom, to what? What's the base of it? It's just crap. The whole thing is just. I don't want the government doing it.
Yeah. I mean, they shouldn't be involved in marriage at all, of course, but. Given that they are, I guess, even with the inconvenience, I'd still rather have 50 different state laws on it than one federal law.
Which is what they're trying to do.
Top down, right?
They're going to make it
I'm sure they're
reciprocity of your driver's license. It's all one thing. It's just this mindset. And the reciprocity, you have to recognize, it's reciprocity of what? I was married in Arizona. I moved to Massachusetts. Am I keeping my old one? You got reciprocity with Massachusetts, or now I'm under Massachusetts law? See, it keeps changing.
This real ID thing, they're basically trying to force California, the feds are, and some of the other states that haven't implemented it, to knock on their thing. Like, well, if you don't get your driver's license in California transition to include the new real ID thing by, I forget, next year or something, they're not going to allow you on federal flights, to another state or some bullshit like this.
It's going to come to, hopefully, I think, when everybody's ox is gored the same kind of, there'll be a kind of the Hong Kong moment. There'll just be a bunch of people in the street going, nah, and I don't want to demand anything of them. I'm just ignoring them. I just want to, hey, am I allowed, if it pleases the crown, am I allowed to leave? No.
Right.
All right, we're coming
Hong
back.
Kong, the thing that really got
wait, here it comes.
Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
We don't need no stinky roads. Woo! You don't declare your independence. Welcome back. Okay, what we're going to do is... that may have had something to do with one of the slides done. All right, keep your microphone on the, same distance from your mouth. I mean, you are way all over here. I'm going to have to do a lot of post-editing here. Now, I don't want to mess anything that you say. All right, So some of the issues that are up that I think you have some comment on is this one, Tulsi Gabbard. Early on in the debate, she kind of skyrocketed to the front and popular by the people of we want to hear what she has to say. And here's a woman, and I went and looked at her history as a city councilwoman, a state legislator in Congress, and moving on up, and in the military, and had this to say about that, and war sucks, and you're not allowed to be on the debate stage, and we'll make sure you can't. So when people go, yeah, she got Ron Paul'd. Well, of course she's not Ron Paul. That's not the point. That's not the philosophy. It's that she was counter to whatever the hell they wanted, and you're not allowed to hear her. Last night they had the Democratic Party debate, and I'm like, all right, Donna goes, hey, it's on. You want to? Not really, but I'm eating dinner, and she made spaghetti. We're sitting down in the living room, turned on the Democratic debate on ABC. So I turned it on, or wherever it was, and I turned it on, watching it, blah, 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 and of course it looks like Biden got a facelift, and then blah, 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 and I go, this is the most, I want my brain cells back. And the only person I was really interested in hearing and going up against this machine is Tulsi Gabbard that they have taken out. What say you, Star Child?
Well, was she on last night? I didn't watch it either.
No, she wasn't. They've got her out of debates. They go, she's not allowed. I mean, do you even know who Tulsi Gabbard is? I mean,
yeah, from Hawaii. Yeah, she sounds like the best of the high-profile Democrats.
All the more reason she ain't there no
more. Good
on
anti-government intervention overseas issues. I guess Ron Paul even wrote something supporting her. I gather she's not so great on some other issues.
Of course not, but that's not the point.
Mainly economics, of course, but yeah. So, yeah, I don't know a whole heck of a lot about her. I don't really have any particular thoughts to share there, but
it's the only...
I wish her well if I was picking her nominee.
It's the only interesting campaign I'd even care about with the Democrats, and they're just not. You're not allowed. Yeah. You're not allowed to hear that. You're not allowed. She is a sitting congresswoman with a long track record. She's female. She's Hindu. She's, she checks off all the boxes, and they go, hell no. Now, no, hell no. Kamala Harris is the one that they want. She's the next Hillary, whatever the hell. Then you got Hillary out there campaigning with Elizabeth Warren so that when they go to the Democratic National Convention, all the superdelegates, yeah, we're just going to make Hillary the nominee and Elizabeth Warren the VP candidate, and we got a woman ticket of, vote for us and we hate Trump. And I'm going, what? And then you got the libertarian, a lot of the Koch guys and Never Trump and all this. They're going to be used to do whatever they can to peel off some votes for Trump to get any Democrat because they don't care. That's the role they're playing. They get their money.
What was that again?
I am seen with Bill Weld doing this. I'm libertarian.
No, he's not.
All of a sudden he goes
Republican.
Yeah, he goes back in Republican. He's going to run in against. A lot of people don't even know. Bill Weld, the VP nominee for the Libertarian Party, is on the record. He has filed his papers as a Republican running against Trump.
I'm well aware of it.
Why? So you see this? There's some back end council foreign bullshit going on.
A lot of us never trusted or wanted him in the first place.
Yeah, no, we knew.
Reliable.
That was why I was screaming, say it! When they said, they're going, will you stab it? We'll step. This one woman, what was it? Alicia Dern, I think it was. I can't remember her name. But anyway, she was running for VP because she wanted to make sure that Gary had a good qualified VP candidate. And she's an attorney that did his ballot access stuff in Manhattan or something. And she put herself up. Yeah, we'll make sure. Well, they pressured her. We got to have Bill Weld. We got the plan on down the road to Bill Weld. And all the money in Bill Weld. And she goes, all right, well, I will drop out and do that because I want to give Gary what he wants. If you will say you won't stab us in the back like you did the Libertarian Party in New York when you said you were going to run as governor and then you pulled and screwed to the whatever. Yeah. So he wouldn't say it. He goes, I'm a lifetime member of the company. And I was sitting up there, I'm going, say it, say it. Say it. I was screaming it, man. I was like,
I don't think Bill Weld has any base of support at this point.
No.
I mean, even Mark Sanford's getting in the race now, who's basically another sort of mildly libertarian-leaning Republican. And if Bill Weld had any kind of traction, he wouldn't have somebody else who's got similar positions.
Well, what do you think of this Justin Amash thing they're pushing?
Well, I like Justin Amash. I would not be sorry to see him join the LP. I don't think he's another just sort of milquetoast Republican.
It's always going to come down to the coctopus
energy policy. I guarantee
I
it. I want to make sure Bumper gets in there. Let me finish. I want to make sure that Jacob Hornberger and Bumper and Justin Amash get to have this internal debate of, along with Vermin and everybody else and Adam and whatever. I don't care. But I get Bumper and Justin in there going at it, and the Libertarian man, we all win. Let's do it.
Well, all of the candidates should be allowed to debate, in my opinion. There should be a multi-tier process of elimination, but all of them should be in at least the initial debate, as far as I'm concerned. And the party hasn't been great on that, although it's better than the establishment parties and the government process. But I wanted to give a shout-out to another Libertarian candidate running this cycle, a woman named Kim Ruff.
Mike, on your mouth, Mike.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to another Libertarian candidate running the cycle, Kim Ruff, who I didn't mention earlier. I mentioned Vermin Supreme and Adam Kokesh. And Kim is another good, hardcore Libertarian. She's a single mom, businesswoman, is really comes across, I think, very sensible, practical.
Yeah, I know Kim. She ran here in Arizona. Now,
yeah, either she or Adam or Vermin Supreme.
All of them. Get them in a debate. I mean, this would be awesome. Is the party even worth? See, they're going, we can't do a debate because it's not going to be paid for and sponsored by NBC. I'm like,
oh no, there'll be a debate, but there's been problems in the past where.
When has there been a nicely put on, got a stage and cameras and set up and ready to go and stream online, don't give a crap what the networks are? When has there been a Libertarian presidential party debate not at the convention? When has that happened? Tell me. I haven't seen. I don't remember when.
Well, go and look on YouTube. You find state conventions. A lot of these candidates have been debating. At various times in different cycles. This isn't the first cycle it's happened, but there's been multiple debates this cycle. You can go and find some.
I mean, that's something the national party, they should be kind of, you know why? I'll leave it to state parties to have a national debate. God, what the hell are they good for? What's national good for? What are they doing? Where's the debate? What kind of, what? Because they already selected a candidate. They already know what they want. Nick, these guys, they want Justin Amash. It's over. Woo-hoo!
If you're going to ask me a question and you don't give me any time to answer it because you keep talking, you'll never hear the answer.
No, I already gave my answer. Go ahead.
There's the National Party only has a budget of something like $1.5 million a year, and a good probably third of that is eaten up with ballot access, just trying to make sure that the candidates can even legally get on the ballot. Helping state parties be able to get their candidates, local and state candidates, on the ballot. This kind of stuff. So there's that drain. Then staff takes up another.
Yeah, no, you're not thinking outside the box. Remember when Ron Krickenberger out of Georgia in the '90s? They go, you know what? We're going to have a specific targeted donation to do full-page ads in the New York Times that we are against the drug war.
I've argued for crowdfunding, that the National Party should have a list at any given time of a dozen or so priorities on the website.
Boom!
And say, hey, here's our current list of stuff, and have it appeal to a wide range of
they don't like that because then it's tied to the money being used for something they want to know. We need the money to do whenever they. Okay, I tell the story. Ron Krickenberger does this. He puts it out to libertarians before the internet went broadband and all kinds of whatever. So it's got libertarians. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this full page ad. Here it is, right here. Give my boom. $70,000 come in, it goes up, and rock and roll. Like, whoa, we can keep doing this. Here, we have this fund to give us money, and maybe sort of, kind of, maybe someday we'll do a, no. People go, no. We will give money for a specific, well-defined, exact thing you're going to freaking do, and you better do it or we're not giving money anymore. And they did that, and then they go, we want this program, and we get to spend the money for you. Nobody donated to it. You do something for a debate and some other ballot access, debate, whatever, people go, hell yeah, I want to see it. But woo-hoo, here comes the $1 million from one guy. I know, because they...
And here comes the music you talked me out of.
They don't want to do... Why? Because they like picking candidates. They already know. And I'm going, you got, man, I got no love for the Libertarian Party. But I do for Star Chalk because he's a nice guy. He knows what's up. So anything else you want? We can go a little bit long here. Everybody go to the stream. freedomsphoenix.com. At top right, you go declare your independent. Boom. Have all the stream opportunity. You push the button. Boom. There we are. There we are. Say hello.
Yeah.
We'll be right
Thanks,
back.
Ernie.
Hold on a second. We'll just wrap it up so you get to have your last say,
No,
man.
it's good because we're already at 9 o'clock anyway. 2 hours. I'm kind of, feeling ready to get off the phone for this morning.
There it is, the end. Now you get to say goodbye and give out web pages and whatever you want to do and promote. Go, and then you can say goodbye. Go.
Are we still on the air? Okay.
No, we're recording, but it just a live.
It's okay. But you can have me on again when you want. Just let me know. I'm happy to come on the show.
Well, I'm very interested in this. You keep doing your college thing there. If you pull that thread, I guarantee it goes back to, oh my God. This is international. The central command of, we got all the 18-year-olds and we know and already, and they're here and they totally agreed to let us look at their phone. They totally agreed. Hey, well, thanks for doing what you're doing, man, and spending time with me, Star Child.
Okay, you too, Ernie.
All right, peace, brother. Bye.
No problem. Take care. All right.